Fox News, where 4 Republicans are vying for the chance to challenge Democratic Senator Cory Booker in November. New Jersey, one of 6 states with primaries today.
Moving to Iowa now, where State Representative Josh Turek and State Senator Zach Walz are competing in the Democratic primary for the U.S. Senate seat being vacated by incumbent Republican Joni Ernst. Republicans have largely rallied behind U.S. Representative Ashley Hinson. President Trump posted on Truth Social, "I know Ashley well, and she is a winner."
That's Fox's Alex Hogan. The president also made other endorsements with contests also in Montana, New Mexico, and South Dakota and California. He's backing Republican Steve Hilton for governor. Hilton tells Fox,
"We have the highest taxes in the country in California, and we get the worst results."
There are numerous candidates on the ballot. The top 2 in the voting, regardless of party, go to a runoff. That's the same in Los Angeles, where Mayor Karen Bass is facing challengers, including Spencer Pratt. The president suggests the U.S. and Iran could work out a deal within a week. Iran's threatened to stop talking unless Israel stops attacking Hezbollah in Lebanon.
The president says he had a very productive call with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and that no Israeli troops will go to Beirut. Israel's government ordered strikes in Beirut's suburbs Monday, a day after ground forces reached deeper into the country than at any point in the last 26 years. To representatives, President Trump says he also had a very good call with Hezbollah and says the militant group agreed that all shooting will stop.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. Russia launched another barrage at Ukraine, killing at least 16 people. 7 people are dead in a murder-suicide in Iowa, all from the same family.
Police called to a home in Muscatine, about 50 miles southeast of Cedar Rapids. They say when they got there, they found the first 4 people fatally shot. They then say they tracked 52-year-old Ryan Willis McFarland to a trail where he took his own life as officers closed in. 2 other relatives were later found shot to death at another location.
That's Sue Guzman. America's listening to Fox News.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
Now, this 25th anniversary of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation remains committed to honoring the heroes shaped by that day. Heroes like NYPD Detective Victor Vargas, a U.S. Air Force veteran who died from pancreatic cancer after serving in the World Trade Center recovery efforts. Tunnel to Towers honored Detective Vargas by paying off the family's mortgage. You can donate $11 a month, and you can amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Xtra, only on Xtra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los on Xtra 106.3. Tuesday. If you check in for Tuesdays for Neil Boards, going to be a bit of a change of plan today. Neil was unable to be connected with. He is in a far away remote location. He was like, "Hey, can I connect with y'all tomorrow? Since I'll be back in an area where I can get some signal, where I can get on a internet connection and connect with you."
This is a hell of a move for him to get Starlink.
I know, right?
That's what this all comes down to. He's making his move for Starlink, and I salute that man. That's well played, sir.
For sure.
So
Absolutely.
Tomorrow.
Yes, that's right. We'll get Neil Boards 7:25.
But still have
tomorrow
some other stuff going on today.
We do. We get Tim Burchett today. So super looking forward to that. There's so many things that I want to talk to the guy about. It was just tough narrowing it all down. Like, there's so much.
Where do you begin? A distrust in government?
Yes.
Jokes about not being on any sort of committees because of not being able to get himself rich in D.C., his background. Do we get into disclosure? Do we get into some of the areas where he's made some jokes about bases on the moon and whether or not we have actually been there before? There's a lot of serious DC work and some comedy to go along with it.
Yeah, no, I think you start out with the serious stuff, and then about midway through, let's just open up the dams, just open up the gates, and let his personality shine.
Man, I don't want to. It is serious stuff.
I know, but
I mean, if we have one bipartisan area that has occurred in the last several years when you are in committee, when you are holding these hearings. It's at both ends of the aisle. Want to know, where is all this money going in terms of this military research? And it focuses on UAP, UFO. Where is all this money going? And that is where both ends of the aisle are saying we're like throwing it down this black hole. We don't know where it's going. We're in charge of this money.
Yeah, we have no idea.
And that's the question. Congress believes they should find out what's actually going on.
No chance for fraud that I can tell in our government. There's definitely no chance of that happening. It's got to be all going to something really on the up and up.
And it's always classified, so no one can get any access to it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's not a chance that any of it's fraudulent. No way.
So that, I think, is going to be my question initially to open this up.
Yeah.
One of the only bipartisan issues is, where is this money going when we have these UAP hearings? That the Democrats and Republicans both are saying, that's a lot of money. Why don't we have any oversight here?
Yeah. Can you tell me where it is going? So there we go. Tim Burchett, he joins us about 8:25 this morning. It should be a good day. Let's see. You got your playoffs started on. That's tomorrow night. And tonight,
Stanley Cup Finals.
Bryce is back too. Welcome back, dude. Welcome back, Bryce.
Happy to be back.
Yeah, his Stanley Cup Finals start tonight.
It's not his; it's everyone's. It's enjoyable.
Well, but he loves it the most. That's why. Credit to him. Credit to him. Yesterday, I watched Georgia Tech.
Only one person on this show acknowledged that my team was going to the NBA Finals the night it occurred. Thank you, Bryce.
You're very welcome. I was clapping.
There you go.
Spurs.
He was involved with me.
There you go. I saw yesterday Georgia Tech get their heart broken.
Man, that was a tough one.
Dude, I felt terrible because we know some kids on that team. I felt terrible for them.
So for people that did not watch, I get it, 3 o'clock start.
Yeah, it's
you're
tough.
probably in the middle of your work day.
Yeah, it's tough.
Georgia Tech, who had a 50-win season. That's as good as it gets in college baseball. Yep. They are the number 2 overall seed in the country going into this. Maybe the best team in the country along with UCLA. They went into the last 2 matchups where they had leads 8-2 and 7-3 yesterday late. And they gave it up, and Oklahoma walked them off. And because of how it works in the regional, Oklahoma was the home team, even at Georgia Tech. And so when that ball flew out to center field, that was the end of their season.
Dude, the whole we're randomly rotating this for fairness doesn't seem very fair. You know what I mean? Dude, Georgia Tech was the best team in the country for the most part, aside from UCLA. They had the regional. There's a reason it was the Atlanta regional.
It's just weird. And again, another weird thing about college baseball for the audience. If you host the regional, that doesn't mean at times that you're the top seed in the region. Sometimes it's strictly based on, and this is a weird thing, you could have graduations in the area. And so the school's like, we can't host the regional. So sometimes the regional ends up in your backyard, as it should for Georgia Tech, but they rotate who's the home team.
Yeah.
Sometimes, even when Tech or Georgia has been the top seed in their region, they end up playing somewhere else.
Right.
So it's a weird scenario, but that's why they rotated who's the home team.
So strange. I was just like, this is terrible.
Because, like, if Georgia finds themselves, let's hypothetically, you're the top team in the region, but you're having to play a regional at Tallahassee and Florida State is the host. Well, Georgia's the top team, so they get to be home more.
Yeah.
But you might be in the wrong game where you're the away team.
Yeah, like happened at Georgia State.
And that's what happened yesterday.
Yeah. Dude, it sucks. I felt so bad for those kids. And look, dude, you got to win the game. You play the game. That's the reason you play.
You had what you wanted. You're up 7-3 late.
You should have won. You should have. And they didn't.
And Oklahoma just scraped into that thing. It was 7-3, then it was 7-5, then it was 7-6.
Yeah.
You're like, uh-oh.
And then in the ninth, they tied the game, go to the extra innings, boom, home run, game over. Dude, it was brutal.
It was brutal. It was a tough one for those young men.
We're on a group text with a couple friends who are Georgia Tech grads, and my son's best friend was in there too. He's a quarterback down at Tech. And he was at the game. So we were texting back.
They had a great crowd yesterday.
Oh, my God. They've had a great crowd every year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been unbelievable what they've done down there. And I didn't know what to say. I merely said, dude, tough loss, exceptional season. And that's the only thing you can say, because that's the truth.
That's it. And it happens. I think the problem that occurs in baseball And this is why it hurts so bad. Like, for instance, in college basketball, most of the time it doesn't come down to a last-second shot. In college football, you see the writing on the wall. You're down 30-10 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Baseball, it happens that quick.
Dude, what a turnaround.
From right in the game, nothing's happening. Split second, your season and your career is over.
Yeah.
And I think that's why when you saw so many of those young men crying, that's because it happens. It's hard to deal with emotionally.
Yeah, absolutely, because it is like that. And
it's over.
And it's over, and everything changed. And baseball is such... It's not a one-game series, so you're not used to that one game being the deciding factor, and in that game it was.
Only time I remember crying playing college ball.
Yeah.
It was my freshman or sophomore year. We lost in a regional final, and it happened so quickly that I wasn't crying because, we're not going to the College World Series. I was crying because all of my friends were seniors, and I was like, that's it.
That's it for them. I've seen that 1,000 times.
I'm like, I got years left.
Yeah.
I'm upset because they're done.
I'm going to take you back to when my son was the bat boy for Johns Creek High School. The coach over at Johns Creek at the time, my son was at the elementary school across the street. He would walk across, check my son out, so he could ride the bus with the team. They go to Milton High School. It's, regional, the playoffs, and they lose. And Jacob, my son, is in tears. And I'm like, buddy, you okay? And he's like, some of these guys never playing baseball again.
Yeah,
dude, at like 7 years old, he got what you laid out.
Dude, it hit you. You're like looking at these guys that you've been rooming with and you've known for several years, and you're just like, there's not another practice.
Yeah.
It's not another game.
No,
We've been doing this because
our whole life.
First practice in college baseball starts first day of school.
Yeah.
And you will continue playing if you're having a good season until after school's over with.
That's exactly right. Well, but because
spend all year together.
Georgia Tech.
Yeah,
both the school's out for
school's
both
out. No, they're into summer.
That's right. And Georgia is moving on. They play in the Hattiesburg Super Regional against Mississippi State. I think. Is it Hattiesburg where they're playing? I think
it's Hattiesburg.
Yeah. So that is, to your point, their season continues even though school's out. And
they get another 3-game series.
Yeah. So, wow, dude. Unreal. And then that narrows it down.
But you look at what's happened around the country. This is...
UCLA's out. Florida State's out.
Florida State being out.
North Carolina State's out. Like these powerhouse teams that are just not playing. It makes no sense when you think of St. Mary's College putting out...
Telling you, this is the difference you now hit.
Dude, it's unreal.
With some of the roster limits that are in college baseball and the money that's in college baseball, it has changed the landscape where it's not going to be like college football where every now and then you have a mystery guest. No, there could be tons of mystery guests.
Lots of mystery guests. That's exactly right, dude. It is a different, but I'll tell you, I like it. Because you just never know.
Makes it fun.
You cannot go in and say we're beating them because it's St. Mary's College.
We're the SEC. We'll be fine.
That's right. Who's St. Mary's College? You're about to find out.
Yeah, you
can play ball. You see the video of West Virginia?
Yes.
But I heard about it.
And they're singing. Like after the game's over with, is they've knocked off Kentucky, which there's another one. Like West Virginia's not a traditional baseball power,
and Kentucky is.
This isn't like Oregon State where it's like, okay, they play ball there. South Carolina, they play ball there. Yeah. It's West Virginia, and it's now time for Take Me Home, Country Road.
Yeah, there we go, and they're out there.
They had a kid from New York. They were getting ready to interview him, and he had his headset on for the interview. And he's just singing like "Take Me Home, Country Roads." It was just so cool to see. Like, it was the exact point you were talking about. They were saying, you can pay $8 million for a player, but then you have this guy who just wants to be here.
Yeah, no, there's so much value in that. Like he's bought into the culture. He's bought into what it's supposed to be, dude. I love it, man. I absolutely love it. So Braves start a new series here today, back home, which is going to be good. And let's hope that they stay as hot as they have been. I don't know how you stay this hot, but I'm glad that they are.
It's a lot of fun. I got the homestand with it'll be the Blue Jays in for 3. Then you'll continue that with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And we get a look at the gas man, Kevin Gausman tonight, former Atlanta Brave.
Yeah.
That guy, because brought him in years ago. I think it's like 7 or 8 years ago now. And he helped him to a division.
Sure.
And then he went off and got paid.
Yeah.
Like that man has now been sitting on multi-$100 million contracts. And so good pitcher, good player. It'll be fun to watch tonight.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I hadn't even thought about him in a day or two.
The gas man, Kevin Gausman.
Right. That's exactly right.
Oh, he showed up here. He had 2 pitches.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, okay, well, how are you going to get by with 2 pitches? And he did. And then he added another pitch down the road, and suddenly his career took off again.
There you go. He's going to be up against Bryce Elder. Braves and Jays.
Great American ballpark, beautiful ballpark.
Oh, yeah.
I've never been. I always wanted to.
Very cool field.
I've always wanted to do that, Los. Go into a bunch of different, I don't know if I can get to all 30 of them, but I would like to try.
There's a handful that I've gone to in recent years because of our volleyball travel. The last one that I thought, like, man, what a great field. Target Field in Minneapolis. That is a beautiful ballpark. And everything walkable downtown to the hotel area. And I've done Coors Field and been to Wrigley, but Great American Ballpark is another one of those that everyone talks about. Feels more intimate. It's a nice field. It's in a nice area, so that's another one that's on the list.
I want to get to Pittsburgh. I'd love to.
Yeah, I'd love to see that one.
Yeah, man.
The night game in Pittsburgh is unreal.
With the bridge,
yeah, it's a great
bridge
look
in there. It's just beautiful. I think I've been to Wrigley. Fenway's still my favorite of the ones I've been to. Which is like 5, 6, I think, ballparks altogether. Fenway's still my absolute favorite.
Wrigley only works, in my opinion, if you do Wrigleyville, where you go down to the neighborhood beforehand and enjoy it, because that's kind of the old school nature.
Yeah.
It's like go hit Wrigleyville, then you go to the small ballpark.
Yeah. Which is a great park, but and I like it. It's just not disparaging at all, but there's just nothing, in my opinion, nothing compares to Fenway, man. It's just of the parks that I've been to, that's the one that it's just like, holy cow, this feels like it's supposed to.
We've done the tour, but I've never done a game.
Oh, yeah. We went, it was when my son was 12, so we were going to Cooperstown. They played a week at Cooperstown. We took a long weekend afterwards there in Boston and went to Red Sox Yankees. My wife being from New York, she's a Yankees fan. Yankees led the whole game, and they gave it up on a walk-off walk. And then, the Red Sox faithful would just go bonkers. It was the most fun.
See, before Bryce was born, he doesn't know about what was going on in Major League Baseball. And then good for the Baltimore Orioles when they gave us Camden Yards.
Amazing.
And suddenly we went, wait a minute, that's what ballparks used to look like. They used to have personality. It was like this throwback ballpark.
Yep.
And then everyone was like, hey, that's a pretty good idea, rather than having this sterile thing that you can play football and baseball in, and here's your artificial turf.
Yeah.
And then everybody started building these cathedrals. And so it was a good run.
I've been to Camden. It's a beautiful park. I went when I was in the Navy. We just had a long weekend, and somebody offered us tickets, and I was like, let's go. So we drove from Norfolk up to Baltimore.
Hey, Bryce, have you ever seen the movie Major League?
No.
Okay.
What?
Well, all right. Well, that's a problem. All right. If at any point, if you ever see the movie, I know I'm like dying inside a little bit.
When I'm dying and I'm not the movie guy, goodness.
In Major League Baseball at the time, there was, I would guess at the time, we're talking like 26, 28 teams. Yeah, right around in there. There was like 27, 26 that all had crappy multi-use ballparks.
Yeah.
Including Fulton County here.
Without a doubt. Even though, because it was part of my childhood, I still have this beautiful memory of it. But I'm not sure it was a beautiful
And then by the time that you have the next stadium, remember, it's converted Olympic Stadium.
That's right.
And while it was fine, it took you another 30 years before you got this thing next door, which is incredible.
Yeah.
While everyone else in baseball had it before we did.
Yeah, but let me tell you, we weren't first, but we're the best.
It's pretty good.
This is unreal. The owner of this company, David Dickey, he's like, it's like coming to work at Disneyland, and he's right to a degree. It has that a little bit of that vibe.
Baseball Disneyland.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And everybody that comes here is just blown away by it, and everybody loves it. Even fans of other teams are like, this place is amazing.
I think this has always been beneficial to us whenever we have invited anyone in politics to come here. Initially, they'll ask for the address, and we give them the address, and we get them the secure parking and everything else. And it's not until they walk the streets here and then walk in the building and come into our studios that they're like, whoa, like this is cool.
This is legit.
Come on in.
Because look, working in radio as long as I have, there are stations that are like broom closets. They're dark and old dirty carpet.
And you're in like just some general office park that you pulled into, and it's no different than being in an office park in Buckhead or Alpharetta or Milton. It's all the same.
Yep. And you come in here and it's quite different. And it has, I think, benefited us greatly being here, just in the middle of everything, the thick of everything, if you will. So, all right, we'll talk about something that's important next. 6 o'clock hours brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. A Democrat Party leader, and since he's insistent that Spencer Pratt is relevant because Trump. Next on Extra.
Stream Atlanta's only conservative voice anywhere you go with the Extra 106.3 app. Now equipped with Apple CarPlay. That means you'll always have Extra's crystal clear HD stream right on your dashboard no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
I've told you so many times about how great Chuck and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning are, and that I'll stand by for the rest of my days. Because I see how they work, I see how they operate, I see the care that they take with their customers. You, me, Los, anybody that uses them, you see an immediate difference. And if you've not, it is that time of year again. Chuck and his team at Central Heating and Air Conditioning bringing back the 6th annual Christmas in July, benefiting Skyland Trail right here in Atlanta. Now through July, when you sign up for a maintenance agreement, Central Heating and Air Conditioning donates $10 to support the mental health treatment and recovery that they do at Skyland Trail. And it's a smart move for you too. Priority service, the seasonal tune-ups, fewer breakdowns when you need your system the most, when it's the hottest outside or the coldest outside. The more agreements that we sign, the bigger the impact. Central Heating and Air Conditioning. They service all makes and models. You can call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com to learn more about Skyland Trail, learn more about their maintenance agreements, learn more about the way they operate, why they operate the way they do. Carrier warranty, carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, delivering carrier comfort for the world we share.
Hey, I'm a dog. Every day, I dig. Every day, they fill it back in. It's a whole thing. But then my humans called Accent Fence and had a real fence installed. And now, I can't get out. But in the meantime, the family loves it.
Hi, this is Jared with Accent Fence. Secure your yard with wood, vinyl, composite, aluminum, steel, or chain link fence. And right now, we're making it more affordable with no money down financing. Get your free quote today at 770-995-7463 or book online at accentfence.net.
What a season. The boys are giving us plenty to celebrate, but if you've celebrated a little too hard after a win and ended up in jail, you need A Second Chance bail bonds. We handle bonds from the stadium to the city, and in most cases, we can have you or your loved one out in a matter of hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
This is Tom, the honest car guy, and we got a surprise call in from a customer of ours, Travis, out in Jefferson, Georgia. Travis, good to hear from you, buddy. You want to tell a little bit about the experience you had with me at the honest car guy?
The whole experience, honestly, was one of the smoothest car experiences that we've ever gone through, meaning that there's no pressure. There's no runaround. It's just straight up honest service. The price that you guys present or find for you, that's what you are going to pay. And you just get a great deal. I've been educated to a newer process of the car dealership game. You guys have not come in and you're setting the benchmark for how car dealing and car buying and car selling really should be.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the honest car guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or Avastin-capted Pagel, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Tuesday, June 2nd, and here are your headlines. President Donald Trump issued a wave of endorsements ahead of tonight's primary elections in 6 states, backing candidates in key gubernatorial, Senate, and congressional races, including Iowa gubernatorial candidate Randy Feenstra and California gubernatorial candidate Steve Hilton. The endorsements are the latest test of Trump's influence within the Republican Party as voters head to the polls across the country. Georgia drivers are being urged to fill up now as Governor Brian Kemp's temporary gas tax suspension expired at midnight last night. A move is expected to increase gas prices about 33 cents across the state. State officials say the tax break was extended through Memorial Day, but with oil prices holding relatively steady, no further extension was planned. And finally, in Cobb County in the city of Mableton, they remain at odds over a new service agreement after the previous deal expired, but officials say police protection will continue while negotiations move forward over court authority and the future of law enforcement and the services in the city. Mableton leaders say they remain committed to reaching a deal while ensuring the city retains control over matters within its municipal court system. It'll be a mostly cloudy day in the city of Atlanta with a high of 82 and a low of 59. Your Extra 106.3 headlines, I'm Bryce Gobert.
Extra.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. I frequently struggle with spelling.
Heartburn.
Yeah, well, that too.
Hemorrhoids.
Occasionally, once in a while, maybe not necessarily that, but the heartburn occasionally will get me.
Like a Metamucil.
Yes, when if you eat I can eat pickled jalapenos, but if I eat fresh jalapenos, dude, it's going to blow me up. Cha-cha-cha. Yeah, so that heartburn will jump out at me.
Everyone doesn't know this, but Tug actually, it looks like it's a can of energy drink Rain. No, that's actually Pepto-Bismol.
I wish you wouldn't tell everybody.
He just keeps it on hand.
I'm embarrassed by it slightly, but here Los is just telling all my business. Telling all my business.
That's all right. Mine is liquid crack. It's a Hunter Biden edition.
That's right. Yeah.
That's how I keep it so animated.
You get that caffeine going. Yeah, this is Pepto with a dose of caffeine, so it stops you up and amps you up at the same time.
It stops you up and amps you up.
It's the exact same time. Dude, it's amazing. You should try it if you have some of the same issues I do.
I stop the exit and then I get all excited.
That's exactly. Then I can run around, so I don't have to worry about the exit happening again.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's bad. It's terrible. That's why this is so good. That's why this is a miracle drug of sorts. Oh, I kid somewhat. No, what I was talking about is the fact that spelling. I feel like I'm getting worse at spelling. Because as I type emails or whatever, I'll have, the little red line under so many words. And then it'll occasionally call me out for grammar and whatever. But I was reading that it's not just me. Across America, people are spelling. They have just lost their ability to spell as good as they used to. And some of the biggest words that people are having a hard time spelling is bougie, favorite, through.
Favorite and through, not a problem.
Yeah, business, tomorrow, because, definitely beautiful, niece, and separate. Those are the 10 most misspelled words in America.
Okay,
I would have thought it would be more challenging words, to be honest with you.
I've got all of them, but the only way I would know how to spell bougie is Booshie.
They say Bougie.
Okay.
See, I would know. I'm with you.
The rest of them, fine.
Definitely I struggle with when I'm typing it. Like, I know how to spell it, but when I'm typing it, I always type it wrong. I have to go back and look at it and go, okay, I know what I did. Or just right-click and
definite L-Y.
Yeah. In the state of Georgia, the most misspelled word in the state of Georgia, and I understand why, is Chihuahua. I don't actually. I take that back. I don't understand why that's the most misspelled word.
Chihua.
One more time, CHI.
CHIHUA.
You nailed it, dude. You wouldn't have fallen into the trap. You would have gotten it. I
am not a fan of the Chihuahua, but
dude, little yappy dog,
too much,
and they're mean as the devil.
Yeah, they are.
They're mean.
They're aggressive.
They're mean. Yeah, they'll bite your ankles off. But in Georgia, I to be honest, I don't know why that's the most misspelled word. It's surprising. If you would have said that was Texas, that wouldn't have shocked me at all.
Maybe just a lack of having a lot of Chihuahuas.
Maybe I
only know one family that keeps Chihuahuas.
Yeah,
and they do rescues. Mm-hmm. So there's always like 3 or 4 in the house.
Just yippee.
Like poor girl's dad. This is our old friend who we used to work down the hall, Jordan DeArmond. She's now married, 2 kids, but we had her when she was like a 19 or 20-year-old intern. So we'd known her for like 15 years here in this
sweetheart,
building.
Absolute sweetheart.
Her dad would go down to the basement, and I'd be like, so what does Mark do down there? He's like, just avoids all of us. Because at the time, it was her and her sister.
Okay.
And her mom, and they had like 4 Chihuahua rescues.
Oh, my heavens.
So he was just like, I've had it with all of you. And he would just go down to the basement and hide out. Now I get it.
I want to stay away from
Totally understand.
Stay away from these Chihuahuas. Just because you're from Texas, most misspelled word in Texas, recycle.
Okay.
Surprisingly. And this is
Read
according...
and then cycle.
Yeah, exactly. It shouldn't be that tough.
I was wondering if it was going to be something like chorizo. Or chorizo.
Right. I wouldn't even take an attempt. I would not even take a stab at trying to spell chorizo.
I only know it just because it's on every menu. CH
or
no with the no. Like look at it as chorizo.
ISO. So CHORISO
with a Z.
A Z. Yeah. See exactly.
Chorizo.
I had 3 attempts and still got it all wrong. He was holding my hand and I still got it wrong. That's what I said.
Tug.
Yeah.
Like Wawa, but Rizo.
Hua. In Nevada, the word that they can't spell is teacher. That's the most misspelled word and the only reason I bring that one up is because it's so ridiculous.
It's a bad one.
Yeah, I mean teacher. It's not terribly hard, but anyway, crazy words that people can't spell.
And I'm not a great speller.
I'm not either.
I think a lot of it's just that
and I'm getting worse.
I've had so much spell check in my life that you just learn how it's supposed to look.
See, for me, when I'm typing out an email, I know when I've misspelled a word just by the way it looks and just by the way it feels as I'm typing. I know I've misspelled it. But going back to get it right, it has to be a right-click, spell check, get it right. Because I don't know what it is, man. Sometimes I'll look at it and I'm like, dude, it looks right. It absolutely looks right. And you'll right-click and spell check it, and it'll invert the I and the E, and you're like, damn it!
Our friend, poor Bryce, whenever he's doing our rundown, our run sheet, there's 2 words that sound the same, spelled differently, mean 2 different things, and I don't think he's gotten it right once.
What is it?
There's conscience.
Oh.
And then there's conscious.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The conscious and conscience.
Yeah, right.
Really throw Bryce for a loop.
Well.
On which one to use at the time.
Yeah, he'll get it right at some point.
And I look at it, I'm like, I don't think he meant that.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
I was like, yeah, we'll go with it.
Hey, we're not gonna make fun of you like we did with the maps.
The man broadcasts for a living.
That's right.
He doesn't spell for a living, and that's fine.
Yeah, he's not a writer. He's not doing articles and those.
That's right. He's calling games.
I would be horrified. Like, I think I have enough ideas to do articles like in a newspaper. You know, if I were ever asked, I'm horrified of needing an editor to get the grammar right.
I live with one. I can hand it over to her.
See, that would be
makes
great.
You feel better.
Yeah, for sure it does.
Before it's ever been submitted, my wife reads through things.
I have no safety net. I would just be in bad shape, dude. Because I feel like that would be something that
you have an editor look at it, it's like, this man struggles to put sentences together.
Exactly. Because I do. I write in broken sentences. I just know I do. That's just what I do.
You're just pecking with your fingers?
Yeah. I'm doing it on my phone just quick. Because, like for our show notes, sometimes it's a full sentence. Sometimes it's like 2 thoughts.
Sometimes it's a thought. Yeah,
exactly.
No, I'll write that way as well.
Yeah. And so, but I've become bad about doing that on everything. That's where things have gone south for me anyway. Ro Khanna is, he's upset that Spencer Pratt is in the lead, because I've seen that now. He's got like a 1.5 point lead in the mayor's race out in L.A. And Ro Khanna, he was asked about it and how maybe people in L.A. feel now about incumbent Democrats. And Ro is mad, and he said those people in L.A. are mad too, but listen to the reason that he ends with, that they're actually upset.
When it comes to the L.A. race, Karen Bass and you see Spencer Pratt, what do you think we're learning about how Californians feel about the incumbents in general?
Well, look, I think that there is was a lot of hurt and anger after the fires. My view is that the blame of that really needs to go on Donald Trump. They still owe the state $50 billion. They have not worked with Mayor Bass or our governor.
So the dude said, they're mad that all their houses are burned down, but it's Donald Trump's fault. That's who they should be mad at.
All right, let's line this out chronologically.
That's unbelievable, dude. How you can circle back.
The fires, in terms of like the major damage and everything else, didn't happen on his watch. All right? Like it's pretty simple.
His fault, though.
It's pretty simple. What I think you're starting to look at, and Adam Carolla, noted comedian, noted podcaster, said this very early on. He goes, watch what happens in the state of California, because he'd been through this, and uniquely, Adam Carolla has built houses. He's done
That's
that
what he
work.
did before he was a comedian.
He's a carpenter. He was basically working on homes. He worked residential construction. He made the point. He sounded the alarm. He's like, watch what's going to happen, how hard it's going to be to rebuild these homes, and watch how many people start questioning Democrat leadership. Again, this is not a Democrat or Republican. He's pretty much just like, all right, might be a little bit left-leaning, but I would say this, he's very regulated in terms of, does he come across as right at times? Sure. But at the same time, he'll also have an opinion that's left. It goes either way with him. I think he's very much into just having a real discussion, and his real discussion at that point was people are going to turn on the Democrats once they see how hard it is to rebuild their homes and when the Democrats start trying to take their land.
Yeah. And you could boil it down to some simple things like having enough water to put out fires. I mean, who was in charge of that? I'll let you fill in the blank. Or maybe controlled burns. If you're from Georgia, you grew up here. I don't know. They may have done them in Texas too, Los. You can have to tell me because I don't know the answer. I just know that Georgia Department of Natural Resources, they do controlled burns to try to prevent things like this from happening.
I've seen them even in the state of Florida.
Yeah,
you're just burning underbrush, it's just part of regular maintenance to make sure that if anything does occur, it's not uncontrollable.
Because that underbrush is what becomes so combustible. And this is the tiniest of examples. At our old house that we lived in Johns Creek in 12 or 15 years ago, we had this little chimney outside, and we were using it, and he just had some fire in there. Well, the bottom had rusted out in a place that I didn't realize, and there were just bits of the fire dropping down. And all of a sudden, dude, in seconds, we had a fire in a circle around the chimney, and it was moving slowly, but fast enough to make me go, oh my God, we got to get this under control. And we finally did, but I mean, it moved. It was and we were in the midst of selling our house. So we're getting ready to take pictures, and I had to call our realtor, who was a friend of mine. I was like, dude, I just burned down the backyard.
Oh, jeez.
He was like, what do you mean? And I was like, well... And I explained, and he was like, oh, I bet the under part of that Bermuda caught up, and it burned underneath. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened, and it was so fast. Thankfully, we had a water hose back there, put it all out. It was good. But before we did, it was a giant part of the backyard.
Just so we have the timeline right, Pacific Palisades fire occurred on January 7th and ran for those several days during that time period. Trump wasn't even in office for 2 more weeks.
Mm-hmm. But it's Trump's fault, says Ro Khanna.
Of course it's Trump's fault.
Because why not?
Because you're not in office, and the whole state's run by Democrats, you let it burn down because of a lack of maintenance, a lack of water, and a lack of leadership.
Yep. And then won't let them build back.
And you won't let them build back because of
regulations. Exactly. Has to be Trump's fault. All of that must be Trump's fault.
Why not?
Dude, if you don't have another answer, how is anybody, even if you don't like Trump, And I know there's plenty of people that don't. Even if you don't like them, how could anybody go, yep, I'm voting for the Democrats? Because that's the way it's supposed to look.
Well, again, we have to finish with the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah, it's Trump's fault.
It's Trump's fault. It's like, all right, now that we've gotten all that out of the way, right. It's Trump's fault. Let us begin.
Remember that. Do not let that go.
Isn't that the end of like every single event? This is the beginning of the end. All right, before we start, we're going to pray.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're going to pray on the way out the door.
That's right.
One way or another, you're going to get it's Trump's fault.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to get the prayer. The Democrat, the leftist, the communist prayer. It's Trump's fault. And he's not even a true conservative. That's the thing people still, I don't think people still recognize.
No, he's a pretty middle of the road, somewhat Republican, former Democrat. And you think that's dangerous?
Wait until they get a J.D. Vance or a Marco Rubio who are actual conservatives.
I think that they might go completely insane if there was ever a Ron DeSantis presidency.
Dude.
Like to a level where they're like, and we'll hear that it'll be 15 years from now. They'll be like, well, Trump wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that's going to be crazy. When we get to that, that's going to be the nuttiest thing because they will revise the history.
I know. I told you.
Yeah. Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Los said he's going to be unbearable.
Unbearable.
At Front Office Los, where you can find him if you want to see it all come down.
It's going to be tearing up Knicks fans for like 2 weeks.
Just hurting their feelings all over the place.
Just going to be telling them some hard truths, and they're not going to like it.
Yeah, well, dude, according to ESPN and every Knicks fan in the world, they've already won it. It's done. I don't know why we're playing.
I put it out there. They're going to win in 3.
That's right. When we come back, the door is open for Republicans with One Error by John Ossoff next on Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here's sports headlines for Tuesday, June 2nd. The Atlanta Braves open up the homestand tonight with the Toronto Blue Jays in town for the first of a 3-game series. It'll be Bryce Elder on the mound tonight for the Braves. He'll be opposed by former Brave starter Kevin Gausman. First pitch is set for 7:15 tonight. You can hear all the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and for free on the Fan app. A pair of big trades in the NFL. Former NFL Defensive Player of the Year, defensive end Myles Garrett is headed to the LA Rams in exchange for pass rusher Jared Verse and 3 quality draft picks. The New England Patriots, they've added former Philadelphia Eagles receiver A.J. Brown to their roster in exchange for a pair of draft picks. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
A company that has been trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years has already done their hometown homework, like having the very best people, fair, honest pricing, exceptional customer service, and a focus on high-quality work. That's us. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of All Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. Sometimes new isn't better, like out-of-town home improvement companies invading Atlanta with their inflated pricing and subpar work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garages.
On the fence about a fence? Hi, this is Jared with Accent Fence. Make the right choice and call Accent Fence. Whether it's wood, aluminum, vinyl, composite, steel, or chain link, Accent Fence can build you the perfect fence for your home. And with no money down financing available, now is the time to get your new fence. Explore fence options and read all of our 5-star Google reviews at accentfence.net. Then call and set up your free in-home consultation at 770-995-7463. For a fence that lasts, visit accentfence.net.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit NoTimeToWait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Sequoia National Golf Club is located 45 minutes west of Asheville, North Carolina, and nestled among the oak, fir, and flowered valleys in the heart of the Great Smoky Mountains. Owned by the Eastern Band of the Cherokee, this Robert Trent Jones II design offers an idyllic 18-hole journey filled with panoramic vistas on every hole, beautiful landscapes, and a fun mountain golf experience. Enjoy a relaxed lunch or afternoon beverage on the outdoor deck with 180-degree views of the Great Smoky Mountains. The surrounding community also provides provides golfers a welcoming environment that is rich with Native American culture and exciting year-round attractions. Sequoia National Golf Club is just 4 miles from Harrah's Cherokee Casino Resort and just a short drive from Atlanta. Experience a fun afternoon of golf with your friends or stick around for an epic stay-and-play weekend. Experience mountain golf at its finest and then go hit the casino floor. Book your tee time at sequoianational.com. That's sequoianational.com. Experience the majesty and beauty of Sequoia National, mountain golf at its finest.
Hey there, it's Tara, owner and publisher of Our Town Monthly, where you'll find local voices, familiar faces, and community businesses like Whole Body Systems. And I've actually had many of you ask me about it, so I became a client.
Hi there, I'm Kim, Studio Director of Whole Body Systems in Smyrna. We are thrilled to partner with Tara and give you the inside look at how we help you age powerfully. We understand you don't need another crash diet. You need strength that lasts. We specialize in women and men who feel intimidated or overlooked by traditional gyms. Strength training is especially critical in women during perimenopause and beyond. Things that used to work just aren't anymore. Doesn't mean your body's broken. You just need a new strategy. Everyone is welcome. The process is personalized for everyone.
Friends, I invite all of you to follow my journey in our town. Better yet, you should book a free consultation. And remember, our town is your town at Our Town Monthly.
The Morning Extra, starting your day the right way. Weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m.
You did good, sweetheart. You did real good.
Totally great.
That's what you did. Jill Biden, all of a sudden, out of the blue. I don't know if she's trying to rewrite history. I don't know what she's doing. All of a sudden, she is now saying Joe Biden was having a medical emergency during the
2024 debate.
The debate that just went south right quick. Listen.
I was frightened because I had never, ever seen Joe like that before or since. Never. Or since. Yes.
Joe Biden was so healthy, Jill thought he was having a stroke. Now, the media told you he was just fine.
Everything's good.
That he was good to go. He's running circles around people. The only thing I can figure is that Jill, at this point, is trying to rewrite history. That way, Joe doesn't go down as the worst president of all time. I don't think her efforts are going to succeed, but that's the only reason I can figure she would do something like that.
Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station is Extra 106.3.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. We had told you this, I think, late last week, and I've actually seen it happen now. It was set to unfold, and it has. I want you to hear what John Ossoff did. He stepped in it, and he doesn't even realize it, I don't think. Listen.
In Atlanta, let's hear it again for our next governor, Keisha Lance Bottoms.
Come on! I mean, this is just a wonderful introduction, and you're thinking, well, I don't get it, Tug. I don't get it. What is it that he just introduced the woman on stage? It was down at the Tabernacle. There was a standing room only in this place. How could there be anything bad? What do you mean there's something bad? He just introduced the woman. Well, that's the mistake. He's locking arms. As we told you. He is locking arms with Keisha Lance Bottoms. He is opening himself to all of her baggage into a campaign that has no baggage. For him, that I can tell he has no baggage. It's hard to put a glove on John Ossoff. But when you lock arms with the woman that let Atlanta burn, praising her at the rally this past weekend, I believe he's doing it because neither one of them have money. I think that's the reason they're trying. How do we work together because we're both broke and the Democrat Party's broke?
There's a general rule when it comes to being in a locker room when it comes to sports. And it's that you ask players about their situation. Don't ask players about other players' situation. And if you happen to do it and you're the player, don't comment on another player's situation. So if Tug and I were on a team together and somebody comes and asks Tug, hey, I know Los has some legal issues, you know what? You're like, well, you can ask him about it.
You need to ask Los about that.
Yeah, that's not for you to comment on.
Yeah.
Because once you do, now everything opens up. Yeah.
You're on record about it.
The fact that he has hitched his wagon to this woman,
and
I'm thinking, I don't know whose master plan this was.
I mean, it's financial. It has to be. What else is there? She said she's broke. The Democrat Party we know is broke, and he said he doesn't have a lot of money. So they're trying to figure out how do we strategically be in the same place, that way it reduces costs on renting places, I guess, renting buildings, I guess.
Because now you can ask John Ossoff and you can introduce a ton of ads in which you associate Keisha Lance Bottoms and her failure as Atlanta mayor.
And they're holding their hands up together
to him.
Like prize fighters. That's exactly right.
I wouldn't want anything to do with that.
Now, I don't know if the mainstream media will do it, but there will be conservative reporters or independent journalists that do not care which side you fall on that will ask those questions. Now, will they field will they even take questions? I don't know. Will they answer the questions when presented, or will they just ignore it and go on? I don't know. But keep asking the questions. Whomever is there and in front of them, keep asking, because that's the questions we need answered. Why do you think she's going to be a good governor? What is it about her tenure in Atlanta that's going to propel her to this victory?
The imagery is what's going to be problematic for her, because now it's linked to John Ossoff. You can show the burning of police cars. You can show the burning down of Wendy's. You can show the destruction of the night when Antifa rolled in here and started breaking windows at Waffle House and everywhere else, and point out that's who Ossoff is selling you as the best for governor.
That's going to be your next governor right there? That woman? The guy that you don't know what he's done. He said he's going to fix the post office. That's his grand statement, and obviously that's something that can't be fixed, and nobody's going to be able to fix it, and he can just continue to say, I'm trying. But he's telling you that the woman that burned down Atlanta, or allowed it to be burned down, is the best that you could hope for. I don't believe that. Do you believe that? I bet you listening right now don't believe that Keisha Lance Bottoms is the best for Atlanta, or will be, or the best for Georgia, or will be the next governor. You don't believe. They don't even believe it. There's a reason that she went away. There's a reason that they housed her at the White House. They just kind of tucked her back away. So to maybe preserve the tiniest bit of future, I guess.
Strategically, if we get just beyond the money issue, you're hopeful that what has happened in this state is that female black candidates tend to carry female black voters. The problem is you've now turned Keisha Lance Bottoms and Stacey Abrams and their problems with black male voters into a John Ossoff problem.
That's right. That's exactly right.
That is the angle you need to exploit.
He is stepping in it. You have an open opportunity. And we're telling you, we're not even charging you for this advice. Political analysts, the campaigns hire them all the time, pay them thousands and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to give them the advice that we just gave them for free.
I'm going to reach out to my contact, and I'm just going to point out a discussion point that we had previously. Now that he has associated to Keisha Lance Bottoms, this is what I would do. This is how I would exploit it. And I'm going to get the opinion from somebody
in the know that does this for a living.
Who does this for a living.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask about that specific question off the air, off the record, just to hear, is this something that is now going to be the plan of attack? Because you and I do this every day. I think that the very sharp political analysts, we do this for 4 hours. They should be doing it for 20 hours.
Yeah, of course.
And when they sleep, they should think about the repercussions of it.
Or when they wake up, it's the first thing they think about.
And we are normally pretty observant about picking up the direction of the attack, how quickly it happens.
It's just the tiniest little thing that I don't believe most people would even consider. But because why would you? I mean, they campaign together. People campaign together all the time. Yes, but not with that baggage. And then no baggage.
Make her problem his problem.
That's exactly right. Dude.
Because a lot of this is going to come down to when it is Ossoff. You are trying to take a portion of the base voters that he needs and chop a leg out. That's what you're trying to do. And I don't think you can do that based on him voting with the rest of the liberal faction in the Senate. I don't think that's going to do it. I think if you associate Keisha's problems to him, that's where you can possibly take out one of the issues that she's going to have, which is going to be being able to land male black voters, because we've now seen in now a multitude of election cycles, they are pushing further away from the Democrat Party. And the more that you give them, black Democrat women, when they get frustrated, they start criticizing, and that turns them off even further.
Our friend Charlie in Milton's on the phone.
Charlie!
It's been so long since we heard from you, Charlie. Man, you can't be going on hiatus like this as much as you have.
Boys, what y'all been up to?
Buddy, just working it, trying to get it all done. What about you?
Well, I've been out see my boy out there in St. Diego again, see him, and then down in Florida, and then just working sporadically.
Okay.
I got to stay busy doing something.
Yes, sir. I understand.
Let's go back to the Summer of Love, shall we?
Yes, sir.
Get some of that diddle-a-doo, that music from...
from Wayne's World.
From Wayne's World? All right. Let's go back to July of 2020 at the Wendy's at University in Pryor, and we know what happened there. Those two Atlanta guys were found to be justified in what they did. Everybody, the whole country knew it was justified. But the city councilwoman and the mayor would be Keisha. They let them boys get out there and set up their own little Atlanta's version of Seattle's chop zone. They shut the road down with barricades. They wouldn't let cars pass through. And the city councilwoman and the mayor told the Atlanta Police Department to stand down, do not clear that roadway. That is not a protest. The word protest does not exist in several documents that are important to our founding. That would be all 50 states' constitutions. But let's go back before that. The United States Constitution doesn't have that. Let's go back further. Here we got those doodle-doos coming again. The Declaration of Independence doesn't have that word. It's only peaceful assembly or peaceably assemble, whatever. And that's not a peaceful assembly to redress the government for grievances. When you're shutting a road down and then shooting a little girl on a drive-by shooting, when mama gets off the exit because she's lost, she's trying to turn around, the road's blocked. They think it's somebody else, apparently with some gang stuff going on, and them little boys open fire on that car and they kill Sequoia Turner, and one of them's already been convicted of murder.
Yeah, that would be Julian Conley.
That is her legacy. Why? Let's see, who is it? Jackson and Jones. Once the two of them get finished destroying each other, which I can't stand them doing, then they need to run that on a what do they call those? Just a
it'll be on a loop. Yeah.
It needs to be every day, all day, on every station that they can get it on, including radio. There's got to be some recorded traffic from the radio system where Atlanta can't go out there and clear that roadway.
Yeah, I tell you.
That needs to be running, and that little girl did not deserve to die because two politicians, they couldn't use common sense, logical thought processes, and objective reasonableness and allow the police department to do their job.
Amen to that.
Thank you, Charlie.
Man, Charlie's the best. Love hearing from you, man. Please don't be a stranger.
It was such a mental issue that was going on where actually asking police to do their work during the time period was somehow going to be potentially offensive to the rest of the country, where I'm sitting back saying BLM is BS.
And we knew it.
It's like, it's time for you to actually enforce the laws of this land, and that was apparently unpopular, and Carlos must be a racist.
The Democrats cannot escape their guiding principle: destroy this country. Next on Extra.
Love having a true conservative news and talk station in Atlanta? Then spread the word. Tell your family and friends to download the Extra 106.3 app and stream the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, and Atlanta's biggest lineup of conservative voices.
In a world where your yard has no boundaries, where the neighbor's kids cut through it like a public park, one company has dared to draw the line, literally. Accent Fence.
Hi, this is Jared with Accent Fence. Setting boundaries is a good thing. So do it with a wood, vinyl, composite, aluminum, steel, or chain link fence. And right now, we're making it more affordable with no money down financing. Get your free quote today at 770-995-7463 or book online at accentfence.net.
A journey from alone and abandoned to one of the most successful businessmen in Georgia history. Conservative Rick Jackson.
I spent Christmas Eve alone in a children's home. When I woke up, a Good Samaritan had left me $100.
Rick Jackson knows what it's like to go without. That's why he'll fight the career politicians who talk about cutting income taxes and property taxes, but always fail.
Unlike career politicians, I know how some extra money can change everything. That's why I'll freeze your property taxes and slash the income tax in half.
Conservative businessman Rick Jackson will deliver major property tax relief. that failed career politicians never will.
I'll get you a boatload of your money back, or I won't run again. It's as simple as that.
No more waiting and wavering from career politicians. It's time for real tax relief. Rick Jackson for Georgia. Paid for by Rick Jackson for Governor, Inc.
The Morning Extra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show on WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Extra 106.3.
There could be a deal with Iran this week. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump is saying as Iran keeps demanding an agreement has to include Israel's prime minister stopping the attacks on Hezbollah in Lebanon.
The president said on Truth Social, I had a conversation with Bibi Netanyahu today asking him not to go into a major raid of Beirut, Lebanon. He turned his troops around. Thank you, Bibi. I also had a conversation with representatives of the leaders of Hezbollah, and they agreed to stop shooting at Israel and its soldiers. Likewise, Israel agreed to stop shooting at them. Axios reports the call between Trump and Netanyahu was tense, saying in a piece posted yesterday, quote, summarizing Trump's remarks to Netanyahu, the U.S. official said, you're effing crazy. You'd be in prison if it weren't for me. I'm saving your A.
Fox's Trey Yingst also reports from Tel Aviv, Hezbollah did fire rockets into Israel overnight and some Israeli strikes still in southern Lebanon. Russia bombarded Ukraine again overnight. Hundreds of drones and missiles. At least 16 civilians have been killed, including children, more than 100 others injured.
The main targets included Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, and cities including Dnipro, Kharkiv, and Zaporizhia. 140,000 people left without power. Ukraine expected this. President Volodymyr Zelensky had warned of a renewed Russian assault and urged people to be cautious during air raid alerts.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. It is primary day in 6 states, with contests in California getting the most attention. For governor and Los Angeles mayor, former reality TV star Spencer Pratt is among those trying to oust incumbent mayor Karen Bass.
A reality TV villain? Really? How did that work for us on a national level?
But Pratt says,
I just want people to feel safe. I want families to be able to thrive in the city.
The top 2 in the contest advanced to a runoff. There are also primaries in New Jersey, New Mexico, Montana, South Dakota, and Iowa, where there was a murder-suicide. 6 people from the same family shot dead in Muscatine by a relative who killed himself as police closed in. America's listening to Fox News.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250, micro, to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
Born on America's darkest day, 9/11/01, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping American heroes ever since. Heroes like FDNY Lieutenant Edward J. McDonough Jr. McDonough served at Ground Zero. He later lost his life to a related cancer. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to honor his sacrifice by paying off the family's mortgage. Donate $11 a month, and you can amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Just go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
I wake up every morning with the Morning Extra.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Download the app so you can listen live and on demand, or if you miss anything, you want to go back and listen to it, or heard something like Charlie last hour, wanted to hear from him again, hear what he had to say, then you can go back and listen on the Extra 106.3 app. Everything will be available right there for you. The streaming platforms, the podcast aggregators, like Spotify and what's it say? I guess
Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts. Oh yeah, all those. You'll be able to pull down the Morning Extra and everything that we do there in the same place that you stream all your podcasts. We are available there too. Just search for the Morning Extra, and you'll find us. We'll be there for you here on Extra 106.3.
You're lucky Tug will sing to you.
Yes, look, if that's what it'll take, I absolutely will do that. Especially if it's a good George Strait song like this. I mean, who doesn't want to sing to this song? This is a great song.
This is part of our Morning Extra Jeopardy.
That's right, it was. That's right.
So where are you trying to head to by morning?
Yeah, Amarillo.
I'm trying to remember who the first guest was. Somebody was like, yeah, it's got to be like, it's like, El Paso was the first guess.
Who was it? Was it Victor that did that?
It might have been Victor
or Kimmer,
who thought it was El Paso.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's so condescending, country Tug. He just goes, nope.
It's Amarillo.
But it's somewhere in Texas.
Come on. It's Amarillo. Do not miss. Dude, that was the most fun ever. If that's something, because I was just talking about things that if you miss, you go back and listen to the Extra 106.3 app. And this one you could probably see on the YouTube channel as well. That political Jeopardy was so much fun. It was the home run because it was, we're doing election coverage for the primary,
and we weren't getting results in for basically about 45 minutes to an hour.
Yeah, so let's kick this thing around. Let's have some fun, and sure enough, we did, and it was awesome. Los is the master of putting stuff like that together. So when you hear it, that's where it comes from. But it was so much fun, and Victor and Kimmer, I think, had a really good time hanging out with us a little bit.
Now, when we do have our next event that we have coming up a little bit later this month, do you think we can get any of the candidates that are supposed to join us to play political Jeopardy with us?
Yes. Yes, I do. And, dude, I think it would be fun and funny.
Their favorite category would be ways to get canceled.
Ways to get canceled as a category.
That'd be a good one for sure, Bryce. I think some of them participate because it's going to be kind of it's going to be a loose kind of hangout. It truly is not supposed to be a campaign stop. That's not what Ben had envisioned. He was like, I just want people to be able to come out and say, hey, I want to meet the guy that I need to vote for, because most people have never met these people.
And so we'll get this information out to you as it's coming together, but we will have for us, it's a campaign stop. Because Tug and I are going to be running for mornings.
And we will have our official yard signs by then, I'm thinking.
But for everybody else, it's more of a fun hangout to meet the listeners and to get a chance to talk about some issues.
Look, I don't care about the governor's race. I don't care about the Senate race. I don't care about the AG or the Secretary of State. I don't care about any of those races. You know which one I care about? I care about mornings. That's the race that I care about, and that's the race that you need to care about, too.
And when you have that yard sign that says Tug and Los for mornings, your neighbors are going to be saying,
what the hell?
What the hell is that? Who are they? And what are they doing?
And what exactly do you do in mornings? Well,
you got to win them.
First of all, you got to win, and then you got to deliver.
We need to be selected for mornings once again. This is a campaign that we take seriously because oftentimes we only get it for 2 to 4 years at a time.
That's right, dude. And what would happen if they just wiped us out and put another morning show? It'd be terrible. That's why we're running for mornings.
Well, we need to win.
We want to win your vote for mornings, and we'll get you a yard sign, hopefully by maybe next Tuesday.
Yeah, when you're driving by the Costco off of exit 15, you go, why is there that sign there? It's because that land we were legally able to put it on.
That's right. And if you choose to put it on your land, then that'd be that much better.
When somebody asks Vernon Jones, who's those guys next to your yard sign?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I
have no idea.
Out with them for half an hour.
Yeah, I still don't know exactly who they are. I'm not sure I trust them either, for that matter. And here's the other thing. You ever see like barns that people will paint, and it'll be like Sea Rock City?
Oh, sure.
Go Dogs. Tug and Los for mornings. I'm just thinking that if you could do that, and don't you AI it on me, because I'll be able to tell the difference. I need to see somebody with a barn out in, I don't know, wherever. You name it. Bartow County. It doesn't matter.
Not going to pay you to paint on your barn.
Yeah, no, but
if you do.
But I would love to see it. And if you send us a picture, we'll probably get you some Braves tickets or something.
I'm trying to remember the sign. We had at one point when I was working over on the sports side, it was one of the times where game day was going to be in Athens. I think it was like 2018, 2019, somewhere right around in there. And the challenge was we were giving away tickets if you could get some Chuck and Chernoff, our afternoon drive show on our sister station, if you can get some Chuck and Chernoff themed pictures or, posters that were on there. And a couple people did.
I remember this. I remember when y'all did that.
Yeah. And most of them were mocking myself and Brian Hoyt at the time. Right. And I was fine with it. I was like, oh, look, there's my sign on game day.
Yeah, no, it's great.
The rest of America is like, what the hell does that mean?
I don't know what that means. But the people, if you know, you know. And if you know, you're important. And those other people are not. That's really what it is. That's really what it's all about.
Why should the people vote for us for mornings, Doug?
What's the alternative?
Well, yeah, because we're better than everybody else.
It's a communist alternative.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just making sure. We got to have a campaign slogan.
I'm
all that.
I'm just going to point this out.
Don't go commie. That's our campaign statement right there.
Right now, sitting on my phone, right in my hand, is a small computer that gives me weather and traffic anytime I want. I don't need it interrupting my entertainment.
Every 6 minutes? You're telling me you don't want to be interrupted every 6 minutes?
I'm sorry. I can just get it on my phone.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It's right here. What? Oh, look, 400. Right about, I don't know, right about
Mansell normally.
Oh, yeah, it's backed up.
Mansell over to Holcomb Bridge.
Yeah, that's right. It's backed up. You know that. It's that way every day. You don't need me to tell you every 6 minutes, so that's the reason we don't.
Look, the sun's out.
That's right. And it's going to be a nice day. You know what, Bryce?
Let's go to weather.
Yeah, Bryce, let's throw it in.
Today's weather is going to be 85 degrees.
And very nice. Oh, wait a minute. If you pull it up on the app on your phone,
it's going to tell you the same thing?
It's going to tell you the exact same thing. It's exactly right. Right now, we're 66, going to be mostly cloudy and 81. Although
what's the weather been like the last couple days? It's been
just
same old rain.
Yeah, no, actually, the rain's kind of dissipated a little bit.
It hasn't been hot yet, except for one day on Saturday, and I need a really good hot day because I want to hit the neighborhood pool here.
Yeah, I would like to do that too. Well, Los's neighborhood pool.
Yeah, I got to invite you.
We're not members of our own neighborhood,
and
pool.
I want to go to Los's.
Yeah, that's right.
We're going to see maybe this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. We'll see.
I'll ask my mom.
We have an off weekend. Yes, ask your mama.
Ask your mama.
Mama, I got invited to sleepover.
Can I go?
Can I go?
Can I go to Los's house?
A pair of 40-year-olds invited me over.
His wife said it's okay. I love it. All right,
Mama, where's my sleeping bag?
That's right. Mama, no, I don't need my lunchbox. I think we're going to order
I don't need
pizza.
my dinosaur pajamas, Mom.
Yeah. I don't need the lunchbox. We're going to order pizza, but can I have $10 to pitch in to order pizza? That's what's going to happen. All right, first thing to know this morning on Extra 106.3.
They want you awake, informed, and ready to fight for the facts of the day in the land of the free. Now your sleepyhead nation needs a wake-up call. A mighty dose of reality coming in strong. Soon as the sun cracks the horizon so high, man, we got the story, no time for a lie.
I'm sick in the head, and I know that sort of
Put
stuff.
a boot in your ass, courtesy of the Morning Xtra.
That's right. Do not mess with front office Los because he's sick of the head and he will come at you. I told you yesterday the Democrats cannot escape their absolute hatred of the United States. It's their guiding principle. Nothing else matters to leftists like the destruction of this country. They'll do anything and partner with anyone who hates America, too. You know about the red-green partnerships, the communists that partner with the Islamists, and they hate each other. They don't have any shared values. There's nothing between them except their mutual hate for America. And then you add in hundreds of millions of CCP money backed by Roy Neville Sigmund. Those dollars to organize that hatred. You got to see it in front of Delaney Hall. You got to see the organization when somebody infiltrated and went in there, and you could see under the tents, everything was laid out from riot gear to hand sanitizer and everything in between. I want you to hear this. And I hope we beeped it well. Did we beep? Okay, good. That makes me feel better because there's lots and lots of F-bombs. But that's the way they talk, man. That's what they say. They're saying, I'll go ahead and tip you to it. F-ICE and F-America in case if the beeps throw you off. But I want you to hear that's what these people feel about your country, about my country, the country that we love so dearly. This is how they feel about it. See what I mean? It's just constant. That's why I wanted to explain what you're hearing because it was just nonstop beeps. But it's I think it's important to hear it for yourself. Those screechy voices saying F America, F the USA, F ICE. It's important that you hear it because that's what lies ahead for America, Los. That's the thing that scares the daylights out of me. When I think about the midterms and I think about 2028, do I think we're in a good position? Yes, I do. When it comes to, politically. But I want you to know if you don't get out and vote, if you don't take it seriously, what is waiting for this country? That is it. Them on display. They want to show you what they want to do to America. That's them doing it.
You can make the argument this is happening on both sides. And I will make the argument that is happening. both sides are being led by their nose. Now, here's the interesting part about that. On our side, we happen to have a group of people that largely just want to have, as I pointed, aggressive American nationalism. Whatever's best for the country, that's the direction I want to go. Mm-hmm. If this is going to be beneficial to the country moving forward, this is what we want. On the other side, it's what's the most destructive force. Now, you can make the argument, when I say being led by the nose, that a majority of Democrats are being led by about 15% of them.
Yep.
And the 15% is pushing this. You can make the argument over on our side. I'll say it. I'm part of the 15, 20% that's saying, let's go this way, and I want y'all to come along with me. But one of them is a destructive force. One of them is not.
Yeah, one of them is a positive.
And that's the real difference in this. Democrats are going to have to make their decision that they want to be led by the 15% that want to destroy this country as you know it.
I think they've already made the decision.
Well, and that's why I wonder about the run-of-the-mill Democrat.
Well, to your point, I did see...
Like I think about my wife who has zero interest in any of this stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure if you asked her, hey, do you want the country to be destroyed, her answer would be no.
Well, she brings up, I remember we were talking about this in the Dominican with a lot of other people, because we met a lot of people around the country. And she had pointed out how she has been a Democrat voter, yet the issues she's told to care about, she cares nothing about. So she's almost a brand voter just out of habit rather than, because she doesn't pay attention to politics the way that we do. Yeah. She's much more aligned with the people that we continue to bring into the tent, where they're like, I don't have time for that stuff.
Yeah.
The politicians around the country, largely in state houses and in Congress, that are flipping their affiliation to Republican because the Democrat Party has left them.
Yes. I did see Harold Ford Jr., who is a lifelong Democrat. I saw a clip of him. I just pulled it up at Jason Journo DC. Jason Cohen had posted it. And it looks like it's from Fox News Channel, but I'm assuming the 5, that's my guess. Oh, yeah, down the bottom, the 5, there it is. Harold Ford Jr. on the New Jersey anti-ICE rioters, the rioters that we just played for you, F America and F ICE. He said this place was open during the Obama administration for protesters to be outside and engaging in this kind of violence, imparting these kind of threats to federal officials. Democrats, we have to say this is wrong. I'm glad that he said it. He's the only one saying it. And Democrat leadership is doing the exact opposite of what Harold Ford Jr. is suggesting. They're actually embracing that 15% that Los is talking about.
And here is the issue, the conditions. Like we had in our previous hour, we got a chance to hear from Charlie, and we were talking about the conditions that led to 2020 and the violence that we had in the city of Atlanta. You had a mentality, you had a condition that was set up by which if you were in favor of law enforcement, there was something wrong with you. And that scared people. They didn't want to, I mean, you had people that were canceling Paw Patrol.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
On Disney because
ridiculous.
They have a police officer dog in
goodness.
there. We had Cops that got taken off the air. Cops is outstanding. Most of the time, it's white dudes without shirts.
Yeah,
that are like tweaking
and jean shorts.
Yeah, and they're like
thrown on the ground.
It's like they, one cousin hit another cousin. Like it's fun for a show. What has changed is that what Harold Ford Jr. is trying to tell that 80% of Democrats is stop buying in the mentality that this 15 or 20% is fighting Trump. Because if you go against it, they're like, what, are you not interested in fighting Trump?
I know, it always comes down to that.
And then the Democrats are like, oh, okay, fine. I guess I have to fight Trump this way. In the same way that you rejected law enforcement in 2020. In the same way that you didn't go and say, hey, what do you mean this experimental vaccine you want to give people? It was a mindset that occurred. The mindset of the Democrat Party right now is everything has to be fighting Trump. Sorry, law enforcement in getting rid of illegals is not fighting Trump. That is observing the laws of the land and is doing exactly what other American presidents have been doing for the better part of 30 years.
Those people in front of that ICE facility at Delaney Hall, though, they hate the country, so it doesn't matter to them. It's even bigger. Strangely enough, Los, for them, for those communists, it's even bigger than fighting Trump. It is to destroy the United States of America. Now, if they have to destroy him in the meantime to get it done, they will. They're fine with that. But that's the overarching message. We want to destroy it all. And just because I rolled down just a tick, and there's another quote from Harold Ford Jr. that I actually admire when he says, I couldn't be prouder to be an American. For the good, the bad, I celebrate them both because I know we're only going to get better if we all strive for that to be the case. There are no Democrats, and he's obviously not an active Democrat as far as an elected official. There is not one Democrat that I believe would say that would have that stance.
What I would ask is this question to Democrats, and I welcome the discussion at this point. What, from a policy perspective, especially in the last, we'll just say 6 years, because you had the White House, then you don't. What is your policy that has been a benefit to this country and the citizens of this country? Which is it? And tell me how it's improved the lives of everyday Americans.
I'll wait.
I'll wait right here.
With my hand on my chin on my hand.
I'll wait right here. All right, because then I'm going to always get this overarching, well, the Green New Deal helped clean up the air. I'm like, okay.
Well, we've learned that the air didn't really even need to be cleaned up. We've learned that all of your climate scare is bullcrap.
It's all okay, and this is where it's hocus pocus math. All right. Well, we did this to clean up the water. I was like, I have not made any discernible change there. You know what has been discernible? People holding on to their tips.
Yep.
And not getting taxed on them.
That's right.
People that have not had their overtime taxed.
That's exactly right. That makes a difference in people.
We're talking about real things that are happening.
And it doesn't have to be extraordinary. Keeping your tips, having a lower tax in an environment where everybody's taxed too much, that's a big thing.
We're talking in this state right now, every single person trying to line out power in the Republican Party is talking about altering the tax code and freezing or dropping property taxes. You don't hear one bit of that on the Democrat side.
No,
these are very real things versus, again, very, very foo-foo things.
All you ever hear about is some sort of alternative lifestyle or
we're making things better for the gays. Like, because you decided to put a rainbow flag up?
I'm not sure that's me. How about saving the people that you say you support? How about saving them $1 or $2 in their taxes?
How about doing that?
Seems like a better plan.
I think it'd be a better idea for everybody from every sort of persuasion.
No doubt.
Sounds a lot more productive to me.
Me too. The reason you don't hear any logical thinking on The View. Next on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3.
Start your day with Tug and Los on the Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck at noon, and the Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. And hang out every night for Jesse Kelly at 6 and Jimmy Fela at 9. And stream it all live in crystal clear HD on the Extra 106.3 app.
Sequoia National Golf Club is located 45 minutes west of Asheville, North Carolina, and nestled among the oak, fir, and flowered valleys in the heart of the Great Smoky Mountains. Owned by the Eastern Band of the Cherokee, this Robert Trent Jones II design offers an idyllic 18-hole journey filled with panoramic vistas on every hole, beautiful landscapes, and a fun mountain golf experience. Enjoy a relaxed lunch or afternoon beverage on the outdoor deck with 180-degree views of the Great Smoky Mountains. The surrounding community also provides golfers a welcoming environment that is rich with Native American culture and exciting year-round attractions. Sequoia National Golf Club is just 4 miles from Harrah's Cherokee Casino Resort and just a short drive from Atlanta. Experience a fun afternoon of golf with your friends or stick around for an epic stay-and-play weekend. Experience mountain golf at its finest and then go hit the casino floor. Book your tee time at sequoianational.com. That's sequoianational.com. Experience the majesty and beauty of Sequoia National, mountain golf at its finest.
Hey, this is John Flading. I'm the president and owner of ATL Turf Co. We are a family-owned, operated, independent local company. We have over 15 years of artificial grass design, installation, and sales experience. From premium artificial lawns and backyards, custom putting greens, sports fields, hardscape, drainage. We do both residential and commercial. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Join Daniel Madelon, CEO of A Second Chance Bail Bonds, and co-host Tug Cowart as they bring together law enforcement, justice insiders, and voices from every part of the justice system, victims, advocates, and people who've turned their lives around. It's not PR, it's not fluff. It's an honest talk about what's working, what's broken, and how to build a better path forward, one second chance at a time. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. or listen to the podcast anywhere. Justice Unfiltered. Unfiltered, informed, and unbiased.
So you got into an argument. Things got heated. Then a fight broke out, and it landed you in jail. Now what? You need A Second Chance bail bonds. They can get you or your loved one out of jail quickly, in most cases, in a few hours. So make the right call. A Second Chance bail bonds. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Let's be honest. All cars and all car dealerships are not created equally. So when you're buying a new Toyota, you're not buying a vehicle, you're protecting a major investment. That's why where you buy matters. For over 50 years, Marietta Toyota served our community with the reputation built on straight answers, real accountability, and doing business the right way, proudly here since 1975. They have realized since day one that giving the customer the best deal possible, more car than they thought they were going to get inside their budget, that's how you keep people coming back. Here's the difference you won't hear everywhere. Every new Toyota comes with our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty. That's valid for unlimited time and unlimited mileage as long as you own your Toyota. That's long-term confidence backed by Toyota quality and, of course, supported by Marietta Toyota, a dealership that will be here after the sale with service and genuine Toyota parts on Cobb Parkway South. Visit Marietta Toyota on Cobb Parkway South, about 3 miles north of Truist Park. MariettaToyota.com. Visit Marietta Toyota. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
Nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty included with every new Toyota purchase. See dealer for coverage details, exclusions, and requirements. The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Tuesday, June 2nd, and here are your headlines. President Donald Trump has issued a series of endorsements ahead of tonight's primary elections in 6 states, backing candidates in key gubernatorial, Senate, and congressional races. The endorsements will serve as another test for Trump's influence within the Republican Party as voters head to the polls later today. Georgia drivers are being urged to fill up now as Georgia Governor Brian Kemp's temporary gas tax suspension expired at midnight last night. Officials say gas prices could rise about 33 cents per gallon statewide now that the tax break is over. And finally, in Cobb County, in the city of Mableton, they remain at odds over a new series of service agreements after the previous deal had expired, but officials say police protection will continue while negotiations move forward. City leaders say they remain committed to reaching an agreement while preserving Mableton's municipal court authority. It'll be a mostly cloudy day across the city with a high of 82 and a low of 59. Your Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
Hey, Bryce, in 6 minutes, can you remind me of what the weather's going to be?
Setting a timer. I'm going to break into the REM spot.
That's why we're running for mornings.
That's right. Exactly. We'll get you a...
defeating all this silliness.
That's right. We'll get you a morning extra of running for mornings. Yard sign. As soon as we get them, we're going to hand them out. And that's
right.
That's the sound you'll make as you're putting it up.
When it goes right in your yard, you will hear David Lee Roth isolated in your head.
It'll be great.
It'll be you're running with the devil.
That's right. And your neighbors can be like, wow, he's really excited about that yard sign. Out there.
And from what I understand, we also have the stands, so you don't have to buy anything.
No. That is the excitement that we want to hear. When you vote for mornings, I want to hear it coming out of the booth. Burt Jones, that's fine, or Rick Jackson, that's fine, whoever you choose, whatever. But when you touch the vote for the Morning Extra, I want to hear, yeah! Come on! That's what I want to hear. We'll see if it happens. And if you do, well, I guess you probably shouldn't record yourself.
No. Take a picture of it in your yard or wherever. And then send it over to us. We're going to start collecting those up.
Or in front of the Costco. Or
wherever.
That's right.
Any place that
you go pose with the sign.
Yeah! Wherever you could be.
If you make that sound, you get bonus points.
That's right. Film yourself sounded like David Lee Roth. You won't have a radio show for long, though, because he didn't. It did not work for him.
No, he brought up yesterday. 4 months.
Yeah, it was not good. It was not good. He's a great singer. Probably not the greatest guy in the world, but
he was when he was doing some stuff in Austin, and it was kind of like an overnight evening radio show, which is completely different from mornings.
Oh my heavens!
Completely different from mornings.
They don't even look alike.
No, I mean you can get away with all sorts of craziness, and you can do all sorts of wild interviews, and you can. There used to be a show I used to work when I was working in Dallas. There was a show that they would do the Hey Man, What's Up Rodeo, because across the street was Turtle Creek. And Turtle Creek was known as, that was the hookup and hangout spot for that area of Dallas as far as men.
Oh,
so they'd go meet each other in the park, and and you'd meet people, and then you would leave, and go like hit a local bar or whatever. It's
kind of Motel 6,
either one. And so the goal was they would mic up different members of the show, and as soon as you said, "Hey man, what's up?"
Yeah.
It was, how long could you stay on the ride?
Oh, wow.
You could only get away with that doing evening and night radio. Yeah, and it was hilarious to listen to different guys talking with dudes at Turtle Creek.
Hey, man.
And of course, like, you would have the guys back in the studio. They're like, have you backed the car up? Okay, flash your lights. And as soon as they would start the, hey, man, what's up?
Oh, my God.
The ride starts.
Dude, that's unbelievable.
It's a genius idea.
Dude, it's unreal. And like, whoever came up with
hey, man, what's up, rodeo?
That's hysterical.
It's hysterical. But so David Lee Roth could do stuff in the evenings that you can't do on the mornings in New York.
No, that's right. And that's why his show lasted about 4 months, because he probably was doing something like that. And look, may have been involved. I don't know. It's hard to know about old David Lee Roth these days. Logic is not something, that David Lee Roth has a lot of, because he's hard to deal with. Great singer, yes. Great, he was Van Halen, great, yes. But Logic wasn't his strong suit. It's not the strong suit of the ladies on The View either.
I like to bring up this story because when Jesse Kelly first told it like 2 years ago, I remember being in the car laughing because I've been on those panels. And typically, mine have been sports-oriented. But when you do, in this case, he was interviewing with like Headline News, like back in the day, brought him in to do a segment on Headline News, and they put him up against a Democrat, and he just took them apart, just destroyed them. And he's like, yeah, they're going to call me. I'm going to be a regular contributor.
It's going to be my new gig.
It was like 8 months later, his like producer friend, he is talking to him. He's like, hey, why don't I ever get a call back? And they're like, you idiot, you wiped the floor with that person. They're like, our audience would hate it.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
And so that's when he found out, your audience is predominantly liberal, and so I can't be the one making all that sense to them.
I gotcha.
So that's how it plays out. In the same way I joke around about when I got on the local NBC and brought up that COVID was not a danger to young collegiate athletes who wanted to play football, and they looked at me like I had 3 heads.
Jaw on table.
You think we should be playing football? I was like, yeah. It's not a threat to young athletes that are in this peak condition.
They're the best shape of their life.
I'm like, average age of death is 78. It's not a concern. And
18.
They were like, you can't say that. That's not allowed.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, pick up a book, read something, figure it out. So that's how I ended up not doing that.
Maybe not pay attention to your own news department as closely.
So this is Adam Carolla. He's doing his podcast, and he started explaining why, when it comes to The View, why do they not have regular people that are sitting in on their panel? Now, every now and then they will have somebody and they'll be part of the show for a week and it's kid gloves. They don't go that hard. But then you see when they bring in somebody logical, like every now and then it'll be Stephen A. Smith. And they all defer to him because you can't argue with somebody who's being logical. And you certainly look bad when you try and argue against sound logic. This is how Adam Carolla explains it.
Here's the problem. The problem is they have horrible, illy sorted, bad ideas that are either just sort of lies or they don't really comport with any reality. Right. You know, they go, well, J6 was 10 times worse than the Summer of Love, and then they all nod.
Right.
And there's not one person there that raises their hand and goes, what the are you talking about? That's insane.
Correct.
But if there is one person that actually has facts and data, and from anything from J6 to COVID or any of that, you will watch one person whoop up on 4 people because 4 people who are wrong still can't match one person who is right. So they can't have somebody who's going to show up with a lot of information.
It's so true.
Information.
Can't have one logical, smart person because that is going to tear apart. But it's the audience is conditioned, and they expect to be told these sorts of weird things. The goal is not information.
No. The goal is to give them the answers that they were expecting. That way they feel good about themselves. And see, I'm as smart as the people on The View. We all believe the same stuff.
Joy Behar told me what to think about it. And now that's what I'm going to think about it.
And I'm going to tell other people on my social media. I can't wait to get on there and type it all out. You know, it's funny because yesterday you saw a little bit of a pivot away from Graham Plattner. You know, like, well, you can't. And people were surprised, but I was like, I'm not.
No.
I'm not surprised at all. Look at what MS Now's doing. Look at what everybody's leaving him. Everybody has realized, oh, God, he's more of a liability than he is helpful. We're going to pivot away from him. And so The View felt totally natural, doing the things that they see other Democrats doing. It's not anything like they figured it out on their own.
No, they're under the marching orders that go out on a regular basis, the talking points. We saw that with the Podesta emails. This is how this game is played. These liberal organizations are given, here's what the direction we're going in.
Straight from the Democrat Party, mostly.
Straight from the Democrat Party, and that is your job to then echo what the message is. And when it comes to the man running for Senate in the state of Maine, Graham Plattner, they are trying to throw him overboard. And so, yes, by the time it gets to the View, you know that it's now mainstream. It is just part of the dogma of the Democrat Party that this is what we're doing. Once it gets down to the Frau level, that's where you know it's supposed to be preached to everyone.
But I don't know how most people on social media didn't see that, because all the posts, because I didn't even know it had happened. I just saw, can you believe the viewers, they're thinking normally. And I'm like,
we told you 48 hours ago it's happening.
Dude, they are pivoting away from Graham Plattner. That's the reason they're doing it. It's not because they've come up with something so freaking insanely logical, because they don't allow that. Well, and as Corolla was pointing out,
the problem is that when you have a major candidate, and let's face it, if you're running for Senate in a state, you're a major candidate. The Democrats worry about what happens down ballot.
Yeah,
and that if you have somebody who is such a giant turnoff that you're like, I don't want to vote for that guy, they worry about what happens down ballot. That was so much of the reason why Joe Biden was kicked to the curb, because their polling. And Nancy Pelosi had brought this up. This was a huge part of that discussion during that time period for those of you that might be a little hazy on it. Their polling was showing that they were going to get destroyed down ballot with Joe Biden as the candidate. And so much of Kamala Harris wasn't the fact that they thought she could win. We pretty much knew after a few weeks she couldn't win.
Yeah.
But at least it created enough energy to salvage some of the other races.
That's right. Morning Xtra, Xtra 106.3. Heather McDonald summarizes suicidal empathy paired with leftist politics as to why young women will vote against their own best interests and the interests of their countries. Be more like Heather for your own good. Listen.
We have time and time again, case and case again, stories of illegal immigrants coming and raping British women. You'd have thought the feminists would be standing up against illegal immigration. They'd be standing up against what's going on around the asylum seeker hotels. But if you look at the data, young women are still voting for the party, like the Green Party, that would increase that.
Just irrational, and it shows that there is a hierarchy of left-wing values, as there's, of course, a hierarchy of conservative values. But it is a total failure of the ability to think systematically. And the cardinal sin in Western society is now alleged racism. It trumps everything else. It trumps murder. I recently wrote about the New York Times' coverage of a absolutely horrific lethal assault committed by a Haitian immigrant in the United States. Brutal. For the New York Times, the sin was Trump's alleged racism, not the murder. And so for these females who are voting continuously for open borders, if you want to put the best possible light on it, you would say they're compassionate towards the underprivileged of the world, and they want to share the benefits of Western civilization. That's the best possible interpretation. One that I think is probably more accurate is that the West has been overrun now by an ideology of self-destruction. It is the only civilization on the planet today that is determined to both erase itself demographically and to discredit its unparalleled achievements.
Dude, overrun by an ideology of self-destruction. You couldn't put it more clearly of what's happening across Europe. look at what's happening in Paris, the riots there, where those illegal immigrants from North Africa and mainly Muslim countries are saying, we are here to destroy your country, and we're going to set it on fire, and we're going to watch people around us tell us that it's okay to do. That is the compassion that has run amok. That is the ideology of self-destruction. And then when she points out the cardinal sin of racism, dude, she couldn't have hit the nail more squarely on the head, because to those people, to leftists, being called a racist or calling someone a racist, that wields so much power and authority in their circles. Now, it's collapsing in other places, but to them, for them to call you something like that, they feel like they've thrown, no pun intended, the Trump card on you.
I want you to ponder what happened in Chicago over Memorial Day weekend, where the left was pointing out at one point, hey, nobody was killed here over the weekend. See, we told you, MAGA fools. Well, as it turns out, 1 was killed and 38 were shot.
Yeah.
Yet,
the rest of the shooters were just bad shots is the only reason anybody got, escaped.
Yet, if you're living in any community where 38 people are shot over a weekend.
Nuts.
That's suicidal empathy, where it is, well, I'm so determined to tell my opponents that they're wrong that I will change the standard by which I'm living and look at chaos as if it's not. The same scenario played out here just a few days ago with a 66-year-old woman stabbed on a MARTA train to death. And the first argument was, well, do you know how dangerous it is to be on 285?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure anybody's being stabbed to death on 285, bro.
Yeah. Now, there might be some road rage or something. You might get run off the road. But no, ain't nobody doing stabbings on 285, no.
But that's suicidal empathy.
No, it is.
That is where you ignore the reality of the situation in the interest of, well, I just care more. I get it deeper than you do. You don't understand. You're just a Neanderthal.
And I'm compassionate and you're not.
Exactly.
Suicidal compassion. Suicidal empathy. When we continue, be more like I said, be more like Heather McDonald. But when you do, realize the left will despise you because of it, ladies. Evidence of it next on Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here's sports headlines for Tuesday, June 2nd. The Atlanta Braves open up the homestand tonight with the Toronto Blue Jays in town for the first of a 3-game series. It'll be Bryce Elder on the mound tonight for the Braves. He'll be opposed by former Brave starter Kevin Gausman. First pitch is set for 7:15 tonight. You can hear all the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and for free on the Fan app. A pair of big trades in the NFL. Former NFL Defensive Player of the Year, defensive end Myles Garrett is headed to the LA Rams in exchange for pass rusher Jared Verse and 3 quality draft picks. The New England Patriots, they've added former Philadelphia Eagles receiver A.J. Brown to their roster in exchange for a pair of draft picks. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Still on the fence about a fence? Hi, this is Jared with Accent Fence. Protect your home, your family, and your pets with a brand new fence from Accent Fence. Whether you want the classic look of wood, the durability of aluminum or steel, or the affordability of chain link, Accent Fence builds it right the first time. And with no money down financing available, your dream fence is more affordable than ever. Read our 5-star customer reviews online and see why so many homeowners trust Accent Fence. For quality, craftsmanship, and dependable service, visit accentfence.net today for your free quote.
Hey, this is Los with David from Atlanta, who just purchased his new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent way to buy your next vehicle. David, tell us about your experience.
I had been looking for a vehicle for a couple months. The car buying process was a little challenging at first for me. I had some credit issues in the past, and I just happened to hear a familiar voice on the radio, and it happened to be on the Honest Car Guy ad. I got in touch with Tom. Within 2, maybe 3 days, I had a vehicle being shipped here from Orlando, Florida. I have already recommended him to family members, several friends, and I'll purchase a car from Tom when I make my next purchase for sure.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
This is Poll Paris with Fox News Director of Polling, Dana Blanton.
Voters have flipped on whether college is worth the cost. Back in 2006, 2/3 said if a college student had $100,000, they should use it for college tuition. Now, our Fox News poll finds that same number, 2/3, say instead of college, students should invest the money and go to work. Plus, 3/4 reject the idea that a degree should be obtained at any cost. That's 20 points higher than it was in 2006. Here's the nuance. More than 7 in 10 voters believe universities provide a high-quality education, and smaller majorities say colleges protect free speech, provide an unbiased learning environment, respect all political views, and prepare students for the workforce. Where confidence collapses is money. Fewer than half believe colleges put students ahead of profits. It's worth visiting our website, foxnews.com/poll. I'm Dana Blanton. That's your Poll Paris.
It's June 2nd, and this is your Fox Daily Snapshot. Today is National Rocky Road Day. Go ahead, indulge in 2 scoops of this delicious ice cream treat featuring nuts, mini marshmallows, and chunks of semi-sweet chocolate. Also on this day in 1979, Pope John Paul II becomes the first pontiff to visit a communist country. Millions of people line the streets of Warsaw as the Pope began his 9-day trip to his native Poland. If you've been to a wedding, you've heard this. Felix Mendelssohn's Wedding March is used at a wedding for the first time in 1847. But it was the wedding of Victoria, Princess Royal, and Prince Frederick William of Prussia in 1858 that made the work world famous. American singer-songwriter guitarist Bo Diddley died on this day in 2008 at the age of 79. I'm CJ Papa, and that's your Fox Daily Snapshot.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Thank you for being here. 447-441-1230 at Extra 106.3 across the social media platforms. Los, your daughters play competitive volleyball, and they're very good at it, and it's fun to keep up. From my perspective, it's fun to keep up with their success, and I've been to see them play, and can't wait to go again. And we'll exchange texts about how the teams are doing, and because it matters. Them being successful matters, or the lessons of learning, playing ball, and the wins, the losses, all that stuff matters because it builds character, it builds endurance, it builds the ability to bounce back when things have not gone your way, and then ultimately to put that to use to win it all one day, if you get to that point. But if you have maybe some obstacle that you weren't expecting in your way, like some unfair advantage that you're up against, it sure does take all those lessons and flush them down the toilet.
Can we celebrate women during Pride Month? Is that okay?
I want to celebrate women all the time. I love ladies.
Kind of a fan of them.
Yeah, me too.
And what they do, I think it's pretty valuable.
Huge fan of them.
Enjoy your work very much, ladies.
Yes, that's right. Has she slipped back down?
Oh, no, Tug. Oh, no.
Dude, that's awful. That's way out of context. We're having a serious moment here.
It's 85 degrees, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you for the temperature.
Has it been 6 minutes?
We needed that. Yeah, because the first thing we were talking about this morning was Deborah recently just had a child in the office, and then Tug, in the way, because he cares so much, he then was asking the question.
Has she slimmed back down? I can't remember what we were talking about that, but I know that was taken way out of context. I know that for sure.
It was AOC at the time.
It wasn't?
Yeah. That's the direction you went.
You have a memory like an elephant.
I'm sorry.
I can't believe you remember
Yes,
that. Now that you said it, I totally remember.
I have a friend of mine who reached out to me in Dallas. He goes, hey, there's this one drop that we have, and I looked it up. It was like 20-something years old. It was a friend of mine who said, and he was talking about high school. He goes, "Can I stick my tongue down your throat?" We then pulled it, and then we waited like a year until the SMU Athletic Forum when Mia Hamm, the former soccer player, obviously great soccer player in American history.
Yeah.
We were suddenly, Bob's like, I want to ask you a question, and we suddenly fired it during the interview. Can I stick my tongue down here? And so the guys were asking me, they're like, dude, when was this?
What was that from?
Yeah.
And you're able to pull it?
And I flat out told them, I go, that's 25 years ago. Here's what it was.
I've never seen anybody with a memory like that. This is pretty impressive.
It's kind of weird. But, okay.
Good.
But so when I say about celebrating women, I mean, granted, we have what's happening in California and happening around the country. A.B. Hernandez, who's become kind of the poster child for man who thinks it's a woman, mother who then defends. And then in the state of California, they've now set up a podium in which first place is much larger than normal because they want to have typically two people standing there. One of them is going to be a trans woman, a man, and a girl. And that's how it's going to play. But then take a look at what we had happen yesterday. Yesterday, we had a ruling, and it was at the federal level. We have discussed how one of the first things that went on when you had this new Department of War and Pete Hegseth trying to get things cleaned up from what the Obama administration had done. And one of it was trans women are not women, and they're mentally ill, and they're not fit to serve. Now, keep in mind, at one point of view, you had flat feet you couldn't serve.
Dude, peanut allergies.
Peanut allergies cannot serve. My daughter who has POTS, it's questionable whether or not if a military academy was like, hey, we love you to come play volleyball here. Don't know if she could be in there. You have people that have been on ADHD medication. You have to quit it because the military has to give that to you rather than if you're doing it on your own.
Do the evaluation to make sure that
you can't get in.
Yeah, that's right.
If you have hearing issues, you can't get in or you're going to have trouble with it. Eye issues, you can't get in. If you have a soy allergy, you're going to have a difficulty getting in. But yet the federal government, as far as these particular judges, by a 2-to-1 margin, ruled that keeping trans women out of the military was somehow exclusionary. It is once again another assault on actual women because women serving in our military don't want to work with other women who think that they're women, but they're actually men.
It's hard. It's hard to wrap your head around this because these people that the ruling came down and said no one can come in. Like they've been able to, the Department of War is able to say, okay, no more, but you can't kick out the people that were in there. That's the
there's an active duty. You're able to stay there, whereas if you're not getting in. But if you're active, then you still get to stay.
You're telling me that people can't be in if they have peanut allergies or soy allergies, flat-footed, asthma, the stuff that we listed off. But the people who have to take medication every day just to maintain this incredible surgery to create sexual organs or get rid of them, you have to take meds every day. You have to use devices to be able to stay functional. I'm trying to keep it as
well, nature's pulling you one direction, and you're using medication to reject it.
Exactly. And you're telling me that is a good thing in the environment that you have to be prepared for war. Wait, sorry, I got to run, take my medicine. I'm sorry, I got to run, make some changes to what's happening because my body doesn't work like this because it was never designed to work like this. Y'all go fight the war. I'll be there shortly.
And now let's point out, here's how it'll play out. This is a policy by the Pentagon under the Secretary of War and Pete Hegseth. Eventually, by the time we have a Democrat administration, they will reverse it and you are right back into trans men
100%.
Rolling right in.
100%.
This is not law.
That's right.
This is policy.
That's right.
And so the all-out assault on womanhood, it's strange that the Democrats look at women and expect them to vote in lockstep, mostly as the key term, suicidal empathy. You have a party that's dedicated to your destruction, yet they ask for your vote and tell you that the sympathetic, the compassionate thing to do is to vote for them, even though they're systematically trying to remove you. What was the joke that we had from, it was like maybe about 10 days ago, where the Smithsonian was looking to have the funding for a wing on women's history, but the reason why the Democrats were rejecting it is because
you had to define what a woman is.
And they wouldn't do a trans section from what I was understanding.
Yep. That's exactly right. It's where that party is. They're
it's not just sports.
It's not. And it's not just their TV shows. Because in that last segment, we talk about the logic or lack thereof on The View. They can't give you an argument ever that's logical. Ever. There's nothing that they do that is logical. You had Ro Khanna say that the reason Spencer Pratt is doing well in that governor or in that mayoral race is because of Trump. What? That's not a logical argument. That's something that you're so hung up on you can't let go. And I only point that out is to show the pattern of illogical discussions.
Well, and then they expect you to go ahead and run with it.
And if you don't, you're the bad one.
Because if I explain this to anyone, that women are systematically being pushed to the back of the line by the Democrat Party, their first argument is, well, at least they'll let me have abortions. It's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're still legal.
Yeah. It's exactly right, dude.
I was like, and actually, they're trying to figure out how to have more abortions. And also then tell you that there are men that are capable of having children.
And
that's the logical end of the compassion and suicidal empathy.
And menstrual cycles.
Oh, yes. I am hurting now.
Yeah,
no, you're not. You've got indigestion.
And there was the group that was saying they held a press conference and said if a company does not let a trans woman, a man, out of work because of the menstrual cycle, that they were somehow economic terrorists against these people. Dude, you have to jump from one foot to the other.
All right. This is what sane women have argued for decades. Sane women have argued that a menstrual cycle is by no means a reason that they should not be an equal in the workplace. And then the nutsos come along and tell you, well, no. This is what makes us lesser, which means we should get more.
We're victims here.
Sorry. The sane women were pointing out you should not. If you have a man and a woman up for the same job, it is exclusionary and it is illegal if you make your judgment based on, well, she can get pregnant. What if she's not able to work for 3 months or 2 months? That's what women fought for the longest time. That's why I'm a fan of you ladies. We are on the same side here. But you have a faction of these crazy people that are taking what we have pointed out for years is the right thing, the logical thing, and making it illogical.
I want to point out that Judge Robert...
Mostly on the interest of men who think they're women.
Of course. And to that point, Judge Robert Wilkins, he's the one that blocked this Trump policy. It says there's a desire to harm transgendered troops. That's the reason they blocked it. That's the stated goal. I just can't... You can't wrap your head around that. It's so illogical.
I'm like Charlie Murphy. Yeah, we just gave him some help. We'll have you in the military.
When we continue on Extra 106.3, usually the obvious choice is the right choice. Los calls it Occam's razor. And that is showing up at the Biden Library. Next on the Morning Extra.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Back during the Biden era, with millions of illegal aliens streaming across the southern border into the country. Some people would say, close the border, stop this. No, the Democrats say, we can only do it if we have comprehensive immigration reform. How many times did we hear those words? Comprehensive immigration reform. If you had a leak in your house, water pouring in, would it be a good idea just to shut off the water? Not for a Democrat. No, you'd have to have comprehensive plumbing reform. Well, that all changed when Donald Trump was sworn in. Just before Trump was sworn in, the Congressional Budget Office said that another 1.1 million so-called foreign nationals would be added to our population in 2025. Guess what? They had to revise those numbers. Why? Because Trump became president. So they took that 1.1 million and revised it down by 1.5 million. Does that make sense? Well, think about it. Not only did Trump stop them from coming into the country, but many who were already here were given their exit papers. One of the main ways Trump did this is that if you came to this country asking for asylum, Biden would just say, well, come on in. We'll give you a court date. Trump said, no, go back to your country and apply. That's what the law calls for. So why are all of these idiots, these useful idiots, protesting the actions of ICE right now? Because those are Democrat voters that aren't being allowed in and being sent back. Future Democrat voters. That's where the anger is coming from. Neil Board's Extra 106.3.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
They can vote now in Iowa. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Polls just opening in one of 6 states holding primaries today.
I want a Democratic Party that wants people to make more money. I want you to be able to buy a new truck.
Zach Walz is facing Josh Turek in a race for Senate.
What we're fighting for, first and foremost, a livable wage. Affordable housing.
The winner likely faces Republican Congresswoman Ashley Hinson as Democrats trying to win control of Congress hope to take the seat now held by retiring Iowa GOP Senator Joni Ernst. There are also key contests in California, including for governor. Republican Steve Hilton tells Fox.
I really know that we can win in November, but this top 2 primary, it's very tricky.
The top 2 candidates, regardless of party, will advance to the general election. There are more than 60 hopefuls in the governor's race, including Hilton and fellow Republican Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco, and Democrats, including billionaire Tom Steyer, former Congresswoman Katie Porter, and former Health and Human Services Secretary Javier Becerra.
As Fox's Kristen Goodwin, it's up to at least 18 people dead in Ukraine, more than 100 injured after a Russian missile and drone attack overnight, hitting apartment buildings and other civilian targets in Kyiv and other cities. President Trump is suggesting a possible deal to end the Iran conflict this week, but Iran keeps demanding Israel has to stop attacking Hezbollah militants in Lebanon. The president says after talking to both sides that fighting will stop, but Axios reports the Trump call with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu was tense.
Everybody hates you now. Everybody hates Israel because of this. A second source briefed on the call said Trump was pissed and at one point yelled at Netanyahu, "What the F are you doing?" At this moment, Israeli troops remain in southern Lebanon, and overnight there were a few sirens in northern Israel from Hezbollah rocket and drone attacks, as well as a small number of Israeli strikes in Lebanon.
Fox's Trey Yingst back to Iowa. 7 people and 1 family dead in a murder-suicide.
I simply do not have the words. This act of evil and what it has done to our community.
Muscatine Police Chief Anthony Keyes. America's listening to Fox.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
Now, this 25th anniversary of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation remains committed to honoring the heroes shaped by that day. Heroes like NYPD Detective Victor Vargas, a U.S. Air Force veteran who died from pancreatic cancer after serving in the World Trade Center recovery efforts. Tunnel to Towers honored Detective Vargas by paying off the family's mortgage. You can donate $11 a month, and you can amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Extra 106.3 wants to know, is this what you voted for? Call 404-741-1230 and let us know on the Morning Extra.
And we'd love to hear from you. Morning, y'all. Tug and Los until 10 here on Extra 106.3. Big news, big news, big news. 8:25. Representative Tim Burchett joins the Morning Extra. I am so excited about this interview because there's just so much to talk to this guy about. He's one of the few people in Washington, D.C. I trust, and I usually follow most of the videos that he puts out, whether he's making fun of like crazy people that are trying to attack him as he's walking into work, or if it's just him calling out all the BS that you and I despise about Washington, D.C. He sounds like one of us. He sounds like me specifically because he's from East Tennessee and I'm from just south of Tennessee in northwest Georgia. We both have a little bit of that Appalachian accent, so it's kindred spirits, I believe, Los. I think that's what you call it.
And what he's interested in, I'm interested in.
Right, exactly. And you guys, y'all don't sound nothing alike necessarily as far as accents. But when it comes to UFOs, UAPs, he is locked arm in arm with Angel Face, Anna Paulina Luna.
Yeah.
And talks your language.
Angel Face.
Well, that's what she is. I mean, we probably shouldn't say that to Tim Burchett, but because he's not going to be able to go along with
He'll
that.
be like, what?
Yeah.
Be like, she kills you with kindness,
Yes,
man.
Angel Face.
Yeah.
That's all. That's what we mean. We don't mean she's absolutely stunning.
She says these things, and then she gives you a smile, as in, do you realize how dumb you are?
Exactly.
Have you figured it out yet? She's never had an issue, sir.
Dude, that's awful. Bryce, I can't believe that you would say that about Angel Face, Anna Paulina Luna. Anyway,
I would never say that to her.
Well, it sounds like what you did just now. But I do look forward. I'm so excited about talking to Tim Burchett because I've been a fan of his for a really long time. And it's weird to say fan, so I probably shouldn't say it like that.
I like when you have a reputation for calling out things that are going on in Washington.
Rocking the boat.
And not being part of them in the same way.
Yep.
And let's face it, you need to play the game in order to get on the committees to be able to bring home the bacon, and he doesn't seem to want to have any interest in that.
No, he doesn't. He's on very few, but he is on that DOJ subcommittee and was able to hold a meeting back on the 25th of May. So, and that's an important committee. I think, I don't know how much they'll be able to get accomplished, but my fingers are crossed. And the fact that I know he believes in that work, he will push it and get everything done he can.
This is a criticism of Bryce. This from our good man, the GOAT Redneck Poet, who says that he's planning on changing the station. He has not gotten weather in 8 minutes.
Oh, GOAT Redneck Poet. I love that, dude.
For the W.
That's on me. It's 82.
Hey,
well done, sir.
Hit his handle so people can go check him out.
Yeah, the real GOAT Redneck Poet. And that's the name, but if you just go to @THA, that GOAT Poet.
That GOAT Poet. There you go.
I apologize to everybody out there for failing you.
Wait, so give it to us quickly. It's
going to be a high of 82 today,
okay.
Low 59.
See, there you go.
I think it's something like 68 degrees right now.
Kind of sounds like you could have gotten it on your phone.
That's right.
That's why we're running for mornings, people.
Because we're trying to eliminate all the BS and just get to the good stuff, the stuff that matters.
Yeah, we're not going to
stuff that's important.
We're not going to stop our interview with Tim Burchett in the middle of it because we got to make sure we tell you about the traffic at Spaghetti Junction.
But I bet you know a place that does. Because we've had politicians that are running for office sit in here and say, dude, we're in the middle of a conversation, and all of a sudden they're talking about traffic on 285.
It's like I got 4 minutes, and then here's what they did. It's like it's the weirdest thing.
Yeah. The biggest credit that we get here at Extra is being able to provide a platform, a long-form interview platform, so you can hear from the politicians that you may cast your vote for, and they have access to your ears to tell you why they should or why you should vote for them. Or, look, if they say something and you're like, man, I'm not voting for that reason alone. It is a two-way street. We try not to interrupt with
I just want to put one more thing out there.
6 minutes. Yeah.
Earlier this morning, Los was talking about my misspelling with conscious and...
No. That was yesterday, and it appeared a little bit earlier in the show.
Okay. So
I just said that we were talking about spelling.
Word to spell.
We were talking about spelling yesterday. Tug had a list.
He's taking this very personal.
we had a list of words that people around the country in different states have problems spelling. And I said, Sweet Clean Bryce, the one who has the sweet bird of youth on his shoulder, who gives him a kiss every day, that he has one word that is difficult between conscious and conscience. And while he spells them both correctly, they're not always used in the right way. And I only know this because I'm a stickler for this stuff. But I understand what you're doing, and I don't have a problem with it.
I know. I appreciate that you know. Spelling's hard.
I know.
His heart is hard.
That's the second time he's brought it up to me. Once off the air and then once on.
I just want to just make it.
That was not meant to be a criticism.
Oh, no, not at all.
It was meant to point out that there are words. As you said, definitely.
Yeah, that's
I can't spell that. You said that's a difficult one for you.
For me, I know it's.
I smoked Chihuahua.
Yeah, he did.
Someone this morning said Chihuahua.
Yeah. It's an easy way to remember it.
Yeah.
CHI Huahua.
Like, here's how dumb I am. Like, it took me a long time to realize what they were doing. You know, with the whole spelling, like when they would say it, I thought it was just a fun way to say it. And I was like, oh, that's the way it's actually spelled. So I'm the dummy on the show.
We tried chorizo with Tug, and he put an S in there
instead of a Z,
and I think it was like CHI.
Yeah.
He's like chorizo.
Yeah. And it's CHO, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And I only remember that because we
it's on
about it yesterday. By the end of this week, I'll never be able to spell it again.
It's on every menu in the state of Texas.
Yeah. So and I love chorizo. That's the thing. I love it. Like as a food, I love it. I can't spell it to save my life. Dude, if you put a gun to my head, I would say just pull the trigger. Just be done, because I can't do it.
I used to be able to spell well and then just fell off.
No, I don't know if I believe that.
Hey, by the way, over the weekend, I was to the right of Kennesaw State.
Were you really?
Yes.
Okay.
How about that?
I was at Tsunami Cobb.
How about that?
Let you know
exactly where that's at, because he said he's to the right.
I drove over to it, and I went, I'm going right of Kennesaw State.
I'm just right of this nice university here that Bryce
great
went to.
directions.
That's exactly right. It's hard to mess them up. Maybe we'll throw some spelling words at Tim Burchett. I don't know. Tim, can you spell Chihuahua? How about chorizo? Conscience, can you spell conscience? We probably won't do that to him because his time's valuable.
He'll be like, I'm on the dumbest show in America.
Exactly. He's like, I feel dumber for having come on your show. I'm never coming on again. Hang up. And his folks will reach out to us and say, please lose our number. So we won't do that to him. But
if we did,
it'd be fun. And I feel like in a different setting, he'd probably participate. He'd probably play along.
I love that how he intros his Twitter videos. Every time it's, hey, y'all, it's Tim Burchett.
Yeah, he does. And then he always ends at the end, thank y'all for sending me here.
Yep.
And I genuinely believe that he is grateful. One of the very few up there that is actually grateful and wants to make a difference. He's not there to get rich. And I want to know who else up there that he trusts. That's probably because I don't know. Anna Paulina Luna, feel like I trust her, feel like I trust him. There's very few other people that I could just say, yep, I trust, insert name here. So I want to know who he trusts because there's so few trustworthy people in D.C. But we'll talk about that at 8:25. Let's get to the first thing to know this morning.
Way out west, there's a show, the Morning Xtra, Tug so bold, deep in the story, breaking news that's bold.
So the term that we love getting to on this radio show is Occam's razor. And it's a principle of selecting the simplest explanation. As I've talked about in the past, if you go outside and you walk back into your home and you're all wet, the simplest explanation, it's raining.
Yes.
Now, is there another explanation? Hey,
I ran into the sprinkler system.
Your neighbor had a garden hose and hosed you down. It's like, okay.
Kids threw water balloons at me.
Right. The simplest explanation is typically the right one, the best one. It's a way of viewing things logically. It's a logical discussion. I don't know if you've seen the data, but Patrick Bet-David had this information.
Guy's awesome.
And Patrick Bet-David was asking a very simple question. He was looking at the amount of money that presidents have been able to raise once they're out of office. For instance, Jimmy Carter in 1981, this is a significant amount of money. It was $26 million. That was for his presidential library. Reagan, $60 million. George H.W. Bush, $43 million. Clinton, $165 million. George W. Bush, $500 million. Now, that was his, and then also he does a lot of work with veterans. And so that was another reason why he's raised as much as he has. Obama's in the $1.5 billion range.
Wowzers.
That's why you have that giant library.
Man, I don't know.
Monstrosity.
Yeah, I don't know who they decided to get to design that thing. Is awful. I don't care how much you paid for it. It's terrible.
So in terms of me just going through this, remember, Jimmy Carter in 1981 is $26 million. I think in like today's terms, it's like $80 million. Obama's 1.5. George W. Bush is $500 million. Joe Biden has raised $4 million for his presidential library. Now,
$4 million.
The goal was to try to get right around $200 to $300 million for this library.
They're well short of expectation.
They've raised $4 million. Again, information, Patrick Bet David going through just the library, raising of money numbers. Yeah. So I asked this question. How does the beloved president who got more votes than any president in the history of presidential politics, more votes than any president in the history of presidential politics, how has he only raised $4 million when he received 81 million votes?
Buddy, I have a feeling Occam's razor is about to come into play.
Maybe because he didn't.
Yeah, he definitely did not. Nobody believes that he got that many votes. Nobody believes that the 2020 election was on the up and up. And here's the thing. For people who out loud say yes, they believe that he did, internally, no better.
And I give the Republicans as much blame for this. I thought Jesse Kelly, I was driving home last night and I heard one of his segments, and it was just a note during his show, but I thought it was funny. He was talking about 2020, and he made the point. The Democrats have to cheat in elections, whether it's been through redistricting and gerrymandering using race, or the fraudulent way in which they have done money, whether it's been Act Blue, whether it's through the use of NGOs. Remember, they're not raised, they're behind by $3 million. They're $3 million under.
Yeah,
they haven't raised any money.
That's right.
Yeah, I was like, you've cut off their money. You've hurt how they're going to go ahead and get ballots out. And what Jesse Kelly's point is in 2020, you gave them a cheating sports car. They already knew how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You just told them, do it harder than you ever have before.
Nobody's able to keep up. Nobody's able to look because everybody's so focused on COVID.
Right. And so that's how they ended up with 81 million votes for a guy that can't even raise $5 million for a presidential library.
That's unbelievable, dude. And completely believable at the same time. Because they can't even say his name at campaign stops. The Democrat Party's like, don't even bring Joe into this.
The question becomes, just how many votes did Joe actually get? Because remember, it was the Democrats that were afraid to go to the ballot box.
That's right.
How many did he actually get?
Dude, I don't even have a guess. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. Because I don't know what to trust and what not to trust. Matter of fact, I don't trust any of it. So even if they gave me a number, I'm not sure I would trust it. I don't know where to go with that question, just to be completely honest. I mean, most people get, 70 million, somewhere around in there?
It's typically going to be in there. For instance, Donald Trump had 74 million votes in 2020. He had 77 million votes in 2024. If you go back to 2016, you had less turnout. He got 63 million votes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's a jump, but 81 million votes.
Yeah, which is way above anybody else. Dude, if they said he got 60 million or less, I might just shrug my shoulders and be like,
yeah,
probably.
I just know that he's raised $4 million. And he's so beloved, right? What does Occam's razor say?
Yeah, that he's not beloved, and they didn't get 80 million votes.
We know the dollar amount is right, because that's real.
Right, yeah. And I know they can't say his name on campaign stops. I know that nobody wanted him running.
I know that he didn't campaign.
I know he didn't come back. I know he didn't do any He didn't do any cabinet meetings, at least that were televised like you see Donald Trump. So and maybe he did a few, but we know Jill was kind of in charge of that.
I believe the number, what it comes to, if I remember correctly from looking, over a 4-year period, I believe he did 9 cabinet meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And your predecessors of presidents were in the multi double digits.
Mm-hmm. And Trump does them on TV. The authoritarian opens the door to cameras and questions from the press surrounding them. It's the worst authoritarian of all time. He's really got to sharpen his skills. But it's remarkable, dude. It really is remarkable that this dude can't raise any money. Nobody, all of a sudden, nobody you're telling me that George Clooney, a guy that backed him up until the moment he realized that, hey, wait a minute, this is not right.
It's not normal.
This is not normal. Even though he did that, I bet he still has at least some respect for the office, and it's a Democrat. I bet if they went to Clooney and was like, hey, can you load us up some money for this library, that he might donate.
Or they might be too embarrassed. So you could then tell me.
But you would think somebody.
If you were to tell me that 81 million votes was legitimate,
I would.
Then you're telling me that you have millions of people that regret their decision.
Yeah.
So which one is it? Do they that much regret their decision, or did not get that many?
Did not get that many.
And by the way, cabinet meetings, Joe Biden held 9.
Yep.
Barack Obama during his first term held 19. Donald Trump held 25 during his first term.
I wonder how many Trump's done already. Because I feel like every time I turn on the TV, they're in a cabinet meeting, sitting around that big table, and everybody's taking questions, and and Trump guides the conversation because he's able to do that.
I'd say 6.
Capable of it. Dude, I'm gonna take the over. I'm gonna go over 6.
All right, holding.
Yeah,
here it comes. I'm going
we're looking it up real quick.
C-SPAN and everything else.
Yeah.
Let's see, 12 full cabinet meetings.
12. How about that, dude?
Yeah.
He's been in office, 18 months?
12th meeting was held on May 27th.
In 18 months, he's done 3 more than Biden did in 4 years. That's unbelievable, man.
Because he couldn't do them.
It's unbelievable. And people told you, though, that you were supposed to think that he was just fine.
Occam's razor. Why wasn't he having cabinet meetings? Because he couldn't hold meetings.
He wasn't capable. Why was Jill in there? Hey, have you ever seen Melania in a cabinet meeting? Because I don't remember her being in there. Unless it was something to do with like foster care or something. Maybe there's been an appearance. Jill was sitting at the front of the table. She's pointing at people. She's like, all right, Mayorkas, tell me about the border. It's unreal, man. 8 o'clock hours brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com. When we come back, Representative Tim Burchett from Tennessee joins the Morning Xtra.
Listen to the Morning Xtra, The Kimmer Show, Neil Bortz, and all your favorite Extra 106.3 personalities whenever you want with the all-new Extra app. It's anytime show replays, all your favorite podcasts, and the latest political news from across Georgia. Download the Extra 106.3 app now for Apple or Android.
You know what you get back when you call the Trusted Toolbox? You get your time back, you get your family back, and you get your house back. No more spending weekends fixing loose doors, drywall cracks, or that list that never ends. With our handyman for a day, one skilled professional shows up, knocks out multiple repairs in one visit. Everything from drywall to ceiling fans changed out, painting, trim work, and so much more. Stop working on your house every weekend. Call the Trusted Toolbox, get your time back, and get it done right the first time. Book your appointment today at thetrustedtoolbox.com.
Hey, this is Los with Terry from Alpharetta, who just purchased a new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent, honest way to buy your next vehicle. Terry, tell us about your experience.
I have a son serving in the military. He's active duty with limited time to look for a car. My son was looking for a used Hyundai Veloster, and I had heard about the Honest Car Guy on the radio, decided that might be a route to go, and we made a phone call over the weekend. He screen shared shared the information with us. We looked over the vehicle, and he took the reins from there, and they were able to walk us through the process of buying the car. We're very clear and transparent, and next thing we knew, we had a car in the driveway.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Tuesday, June 2nd, and here are your headlines. President Donald Trump has issued a series of endorsements ahead of tonight's primary elections in 6 states, backing candidates in key gubernatorial, Senate, and congressional races. The endorsements will serve as another test of Trump's influence within the Republican Party as voters head to the polls later today. Georgia drivers are being urged to fill up their tanks as soon as possible as Governor Brian Kemp's temporary gas tax suspension expired at midnight last night. Officials say gas prices could rise about 33 cents per gallon statewide now that the tax break is over. And finally, Cobb County and the city of Mableton remain at odds over new services agreements after the previous deal expired, but officials say the protection will continue while negotiations move forward. City leaders say they remain committed to reaching an agreement while preserving Mableton's municipal court authority. Tim Burchett coming up next right here, joining Tug and Los. Today's weather will be mostly cloudy across the city with a high of 82 and a low of 59. Your Extra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. It is our honor to welcome Congressman Tim Burchett to the Morning Extra. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you all for having me on.
Yes, sir. It is, like I said, it's our honor. We'll start out with trust because there's so little trust in Washington, D.C., and no one's telling the American people about defund the Taliban except you. Are there other people in D.C. that we can trust that would tell the American people the truth? Because you're one of the very few, sir, that I talk about on this show and say, I actually trust that man in D.C.
Yeah, there's a bunch of us. It's just that they're not as vocal as I am, obviously. I mean, there'll be 15 or 20 votes up there on the board pretty consistently that are in favor of the taxpayers. But you know, it's just that's the problem with it. Everybody talks a big game, you know, and then they feed you the red meat at the Lincoln Day or the Reagan Day or the MAGA dinners or whatever, and then they go back to Washington and vote you down the river. And that's been the problem consistently, and people aren't paying attention. And I mean, when you have 15 to 20% of the population that's eligible to vote, go vote, and then when 40% of the evangelical Christians stay home and 30% of the gun owners stay home on election day, I mean, they listen to those cluckheads on The View, I guess, to tell them what to think. And then they gripe and say, well, what's the use if I go vote? It's going to be stolen. Well, you got to put so many points on the dadgum board that they can't steal it. That's what you got to do. And we've seen that in the past where big numbers show up and we do pretty good. But when it dwindles, we don't do so well. And that's kind of part of the problem, I guess. And there's not a lot of accountability. People don't follow the bills. You know, there'll be a 2,000-page bill, and you know, you'll get your little portion that you need in there, and then you vote for it, and that's why we're $40 trillion in debt.
Congressman Tim Burchett joins us right here on the Morning Extra. One of those areas that I think has created such an interesting political divide is that when you bring up the idea of politicians should not be getting rich off taxpayer money. They should not be able to do some of the stuff that they're doing in Congress. And I believe you have a large amount of Americans that completely agree with that. Yet, whenever there's any sort of proposal for a bill, it immediately seems like it dies in Congress. How frustrating is that when you have, I believe, a majority of Americans who believe in what you're talking about there?
It is incredibly frustrating. You mentioned the bill on defunding the Taliban. It's Monday, and we're sending them $40 million more every week. The State Department has the numbers. I've read the reports, and yet you can't seem to get it out. And the reason is because probably some of that money is running through some NGOs and things like that, and that money comes straight back to Washington, whether it's in the form of dark money or You have members of Congress who have family members that I'm sure a wife and or a girlfriend maybe that work for some of these organizations that draw a fat check, and we just let it ride. And the stock trading thing, of course, everybody realizes that some members of Congress can make 16,000% return or whatever it is that some of them are getting. You know, and Nancy Pelosi in the top 10. She's number 11 in the amount of trades. Now, the profit wise, she's cleaning up, but there's so many that are doing this deal, and everybody knows it's going on. And it's not every member of Congress. And honestly, some members of Congress financially struggle because they have, it's two households. I sleep in my office, so I don't have the expense, and I eat a lot of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. That's just no lie. I don't go out and party like some do, but most don't. But it is, it's just a choice you make. Are you going to sit in a committee meeting and get some kind of information and call your broker or call your brother's broker or whoever you run it through and do that? The bill I have is very simple. It just says put everything in a dadgum mutual fund. That's what you ought to do is put it in a mutual fund and not involved in stock trading. The bill that's out there that everybody's pushing now is not my bill. The bill is you're not allowed to trade anymore, but you get to keep your portfolio. So say you got a $20 million portfolio. Of course you're going to vote for things that would make it better. And I just think it's a bad road to go. I have a simple bill that just says do away with it. More people have played professional baseball than have been in the United States Congress. And yeah, it's a sacrifice, but you should make that sacrifice. And if you can't do that, you need to go home.
Yeah. Congressman Tim Burchett joins us on the Morning Xtra on Xtra 106.3 Tug and Los until 10. I get so frustrated, and I understand your frustration, and because I don't trust, Tim, I don't trust any government anymore. Even the people that I vote for, I don't even know if I trust them anymore. This is a collapse of integrity, a collapse of belief, which is detrimental to our country. I want to believe. I want to trust in the system. I want to trust in the American way and the American dream. And I feel like I see it caving in front of me because the people there, like you've laid out, Congressman Burchett, they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And it seems so easy not to. I mean, you're talking about voting. You got to get out in numbers that will, win us an election that's too big to rig, too big to cheat. And then you have the Save America Act, that's another thing that's backed by the majority of Americans. And they won't even, the Republicans won't even do anything with it. That's the thing that drives people crazy, the thing that drives me crazy. I don't know how to fix that. Can it be fixed, Congressman?
Yeah, hold these people accountable. Reagan said it best, trust but verify. I think the vast majority of the people in Congress are honest. It's just that it gets easier and easier just to slide down that path. And there is zero accountability when that happens. You run every 2 years. Again, you preach the gospel the last 6 months or so, and then they get reelected. And then 18 months out of that time, they're not doing what they said they were going to do. And that is a big problem within Congress right now. And you're right not to trust, but Reagan did say it best, trust but verify.
Congressman Tim Burchett is our guest on the Morning Xtra. Now, sir, just full disclosure, I have been a UFO UAP enthusiast for a long time. I'm the guy who owned the Time Life books in the 80s and 90s. I've always followed this story, and one of the only bipartisan things that really seems to be going on in Washington is both sides of the aisle want to know, where is some of this dark money going? Do you ever think that we're going to get to a point where we might, I don't know if it's even disclosure, but we might actually be able to find out what is actually going on around us and where's our money going to support it or to research it?
That is a great question. I've said this many times. It's not about flying saucers. It's not about little green men. It's about where the heck of the tens of millions of dollars are going. And if they don't exist, then why are they spending all this money to do something, to study something. Almost every alphabet agency, except maybe the IRS. I don't know if they figure out a way to tax them. They might, but everybody has a group that's investigating them. They have files on this stuff, and currently, how crazy this is. I'm in a meeting with some kid with a man bun in there, and there's a bunch of military officials, and this is, and he tells us that the president is on a need-to-know basis. How is that even possible that some unelected bureaucrat, little punk, is able to make that kind of assumption and has that kind of authority? But that's where we're at, and it's proven right now because I was on the phone with just a couple of days ago with one of the president's top people, and if I said his name, you would know it. But he told me that right now the president is getting a lot of blowback from these agencies. They're stopping him from releasing a lot of the stuff that's out there and the stuff that I've seen and that several members of Congress have seen. And if you're a member of the Congress said this is a bunch of junk or garbage, tell them to go into the SCIF, demand a meeting with the FBI, demand a meeting with some of these other agencies that have these files to show them the videos and to hear the testimony. You have scientists in this movie I'm in at Age of Disclosure, and these are government scientists that have come forward and said, yes, we have bodies, yes, we have vehicles or whatever they are, and they have nothing to gain. All they have to gain is losing every bit of their credibility in the public's eye. You have pilots, some of the best in the world, that have come forward and said, we've chased these things, they followed us. And I was with a group, and I won't go into too much detail, that was disclosing to us that they had to call off some of their, I won't call it air show. They were in the air and had to call this thing off because these things were around them so much, and they were afraid for their own safety. And we have sworn testimony in committee. These things have hovered for hours, and then they just shoot straight up. We have nothing with any of that capability. So, is it the Chinese? No, it's not the Chinese. They would own us even more than they already do. Is it the Russians? No, they wouldn't be bogged down in Ukraine. And it's surely not us, because we wouldn't put our members of the military in harm's way in front of these things. And, when I have a pilot tell me this thing was 14 feet from his canopy, 14 feet. And, and at some point, somebody in the government's going to have to show us some stuff. But right now, because of the arrogance and that we see in our government, they're keeping our own president from seeing this stuff.
Congressman Tim Burchett on the Morning Xtra, Tug and Los until 10. So what keeps you up at night? Because Los and I have these discussions all the time. I've always been a guy that's not super interested in it, but I believe something exists. You can convince me something exists. Los has really read about it and talked about it.
I did follow every single one of the committees. Like, I ran home, Congressman, to go watch things on C-SPAN, to watch every minute of it. I have seen Age of Disclosure as well. So I'm always telling Tug, as a former naval man, there's stuff that our military can't explain.
And I believe that. So that's my question. What keeps you up at night? The technology, the things that you've seen, or the fraud that you feel like is going, as far as the money that's being ushered through, that whole world?
I think it's the fraud, because I'm not worried about these things. If they were going to destroy us, they've already done it. And I just think it's the fraud and the ability of our government to hide everything from us and to decide what we can and cannot handle. That's what drives me crazy. In fact, we're $40 trillion in debt. Nobody has a plan to pay any of it down.
No, that's exactly right. I think
other than they want us to pass their bill, and then we'll get it next go round.
That's what they always say. But see, that's the thing. I don't think many people, and I don't know that I thought about it until this morning when Los and I was discussing it. Congressman Burchett, I was like, I'm so glad that you laid it out that way. The fraud that goes into either covering it up or being able to launder money or whatever it is, that more than the little green people that most people are like, man, I got to get to work. This is what I'm concerned about. I got to pay my taxes that are going to get wasted.
Yep, that's exactly right. And we just, again, $40 trillion in debt we're approaching, and nobody has a plan. You know, we're spending more on our military than our top three people, the top three countries do. You know, the Democrats get in and spend it on all kinds of woke, crazy stuff, and then we spend it on, seems like, on military. And I remember there was talk about some people were going to vote against some bills, some of the military, and one of the slimy members of Congress gets up and says, starts pointing out, well, we make this in your district, we make this in your district, we make this in your district. I mean, we're literally making stuff that gets mothballed the day it comes off the assembly line because it's in some powerful. I remember my first bill. First budget when I got to Congress, and it had something on studying lobsters in 3 different districts, and it turned out, I believe it was in 3 different ranking members in both parties' district. Basically, they were studying the same thing. I said, if y'all want to study lobster, you need to go down to the Red Lobster and study it for $14.99, the $14.99 dinner.
That's right.
That tells you how long ago it was. But anyway, it just, to me, it just... It's just never ending, but we got to have accountability, and we can't give up, and we got to keep fighting. We got to go to the polls. We got to get off our butts and do something. We got to hold our elected officials accountable, and we got to start reading these bills. They're on the internet, even though they get dropped on our lap, 2,000-page bills. Here's something that infuriates me. I'm in Transportation Committee, and I had some amendments, and these were cost-saving amendments, but they weren't agreed upon by the 4 corners. Now, the 4 corners are the Democrat or Republican Speaker, Speaker Johnson, Hakeem Jeffries, the Democrat, and Thune and Schumer. Now, we're in the majority. Why do we worry? They sure as heck don't worry about us. And yet, this wasn't agreed upon in this massive spending bill. Yet, so the Republicans in leadership bow down to that. And it just doesn't make any sense to me. And there's zero accountability. And I wish people would start paying attention and hold their elected officials accountable. You got a revolving door. Once you get out, you play the game long enough, you'll be hired by some. You'll be hired by some dadgum lobbying firm. There's no question, and it just drives me crazy. But anyway,
you've brought up the duplication, and it sounds like you're talking about the lobster study. That there's so many departments doing the same stuff, and that just means more money is being wasted over and over and over again. You've been trying to point that out because I don't think people know that either.
No, they don't. I remembered, and I wrote the president. It was President Trump's first term, and he cleaned a lot of it up. It was breast cancer, which is just horrible. If you've got a mom, a sister, an aunt, grandmother, whatever, this has affected you. And there was a duplication. They were studying the same dadgum thing, and we made them get together and correlate what they were doing so there wasn't that duplication. And that's what I've been doing. I'm chairman of the DOGE committee. We found $1 trillion in duplication, and I have a bill to help correct that. And I'm hopefully I'll see it in committee in a couple of weeks, hopefully. But if it doesn't, I'm going to raise total hell about it on the internet and put it out and embarrass the people that stopped it, because that's the kind of thing. I was in the state legislature in Tennessee, and every bill that you carried, you could have heard. That's not the way it is in Congress. You've got these staffers that run. I have on one committee alone, the Republican-controlled committee has 50 staffers. Now, what happens to a staffer, they get wined and dined. Not all of them, but some of them get wined and dined by the lobbyist. And then they stop your bill. They come to you and say, hey, man, this thing ain't going to pass like it is. Why don't we do a study? And so you pass the bill with the same name, and you go home to your hometown paper and say, oh, look what Burchett did. He passed this bill with this title, this great title, which didn't. And so these studies get done by the GAO, the government, I believe it's accounting office, accountability office, whatever. And these studies, I'm pretty sure, do you remember that last scene in Raiders of the Lost Ark where they go into that huge warehouse?
Yeah.
And well, that's where these studies go, I think, because I've been in Congress 8 years and I ain't never seen a dadgum study. So I'm forcing them to bring the studies out in Doge, and then we craft the committee meeting around that. And at the end of the meeting, I'll already have legislation drawn up. That's the way it should run. And that's what we're doing in the Doge committee. I've brought out 3 or 4 bills so far, but let's see what happens with them. It's not real sexy, and when you have to cut somebody's third cousin's paycheck that doesn't do anything in some miserable government department, people get a little antsy, and they'll start picking. Oh, Burchett, he doesn't. I was told last week that I just don't play the game. That's my problem. I'm putting that on one of my campaign T-shirts this year. I don't play the game, because playing the game and that's what I told the chairman, that's what's got us in $40 trillion in debt, playing the game.
It's funny you mentioned that, because as we've been promoting you joining us, we just have talked about you and said he doesn't play the game. So, put it on a shirt.
Yeah, absolutely. Congressman, we could talk to you all day, and I hope you'll come back and speak to our audience again here in Atlanta, because you're speaking their language. You and I, because I'm from Northwest Georgia, just south of Chattanooga and Dalton, we speak a lot. We got that Appalachian accent, but you talk like I talk, and it's nothing to do with the accent. It's the common sense that can save America, or if we don't implement it, we're going to lose it. And I hope you'll come back one day soon.
Thank you. Y'all just call me, and I'll be glad to. And it's good to be on a radio station where people don't speak with an accent. So,
that's right. Absolutely right, Congressman Tim Burchett. God, love it, man. He's exactly what America needs.
Well, he points out the frustration of what it's like working in that environment. And I love that he made the comment about Raiders of the Lost Ark, and that's where these reports go to die. I've got a friend of mine who's worked for the GAO for 20 years who says the same thing.
It's unreal. Dude.
It's like, here, we need you to score this. I'm like, we'll score a bill. It's like, but basically, if it's a report, it's off to wherever, and it's just a way to slow everything down and not get anything done.
The 4 things that I wrote down when he talked about that specific thing, I'll tell you what those 4 things are that have to get cleaned up. After we spoke with Tim Burchett, we'll talk about maybe some more reflections on that. And something he said that we didn't get to that I think is important to talk about too next on Extra 106.3, and that's to do with the UN and NATO.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are sports headlines for Tuesday, June 2nd. The Atlanta Braves open up the homestand tonight with the Toronto Blue Jays in town for the first of a 3-game series. It'll be Bryce Elder on the mound tonight for the Braves. He'll be opposed by former Brave starter Kevin Gausman. First pitch is set for 7:15 tonight. You can hear all the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and for free on the Fan app. A pair of big trades in the NFL. Former NFL Defensive Player of the Year, defensive end Myles Garrett is headed to the LA Rams in exchange for pass rusher Jared Verse and 3 quality draft picks. The New England Patriots, they've added former Philadelphia Eagles receiver A.J. Brown to their roster in exchange for a pair of draft picks. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
School's out, and it's time to slide into summer at Truist Park as the Blue Jays and Pirates roll into town, June 2nd through the 7th. Fans can score 3 giveaways, like the David Justice bobblehead presented by Truist, the Drake Baldwin hockey jersey presented by Xfinity, and the kids' soccer jersey built by the Home Depot. Catch the electric energy this summer inside Truist Park and cheer on your red-hot Braves. Find all the details and get your tickets at Braves.com/promos. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Mark Braves country.
Ed Leonard's Mark from the Safe House. The legacy of Joe Biden lives. His open border policy let millions of illegal criminals stream into our country. We continue to have customers visit the showroom and report that they have been victims of break-ins and lost their hard-earned and irreplaceable items. So don't be a victim. Drive by the Safe House showroom and see what real security looks like. Picture yourself placing your valuables in a Fort Knox safe. Now that's real protection for your priceless valuables. Drop by the showroom or go to AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
For a lot of drivers, the question isn't, should I buy a Toyota? It's, where should I buy it? Because the dealership matters long after the paperwork is signed. My good friends at Marietta Toyota, well, they've built their reputation the right way. Trust, consistency, and of course, most importantly, taking care of the neighbors and customers for over 50 years, proudly serving the Marietta area since 1975. You get real selection, straightforward answers, and a team that respects your time. Here's the difference most dealerships don't include. Every new Toyota comes with our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty. That's valid for unlimited time and unlimited mileage for as long as you own your Toyota. That's long-term confidence backed by Toyota quality and supported by a full team here after the sale with service and genuine Toyota parts on Cobb Parkway South. It's time for you to visit Marietta Toyota on Cobb Parkway South, about 3 miles north of Truist Park. Marietta Toyota. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
Nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty included with every new Toyota purchase. See dealer for coverage details, exclusions, and requirements.
Amazon Business. Discover smart business buying where unmatched selection meets AI-driven tools to simplify complex processes so you can focus on what matters most. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Bullet Points. I'm Eben Brown. There are some big decisions on some Second Amendment legal matters to come. The U.S. Supreme Court has yet to issue rulings on 2 cases of interest to gun owners and Second Amendment advocates. The first concerns so-called vampire laws. It's a case from Hawaii challenging a state law that a person possessing a firearm seek permission from the owner of private property to have that firearm on their person, even when the private property is open to the public, such as a shopping mall. It gets the name from vampire myth that the monsters can't come into one's home without being invited. Another case challenges the Gun Control Act of 1968, barring users of illegal drugs from owning firearms. This is the same law Hunter Biden was charged with violating back in 2023. Rulings might not come until the end of this month. And those are your bullet points. I'm Eben Brown, Fox News.
The candidates you need to hear from before the midterms are live on Extra 106.3.
Talking to Greg Dozal here on the Morning Xtra.
I would put everything that we talked about under the umbrella of the moment in history that we are in, which I think is that we are in a fight to save Western civilization. And there are people that want to overthrow the West. There are countries that want to overthrow the West. It's not just China. There are a number of other countries. I believe that we save the West by saving America. But if you think about it, we save America by saving Georgia, because Georgia has become ground zero for the fight for the White House, the fight for the United States Senate. I think that we save Georgia by saving the American dream right here.
Tell your local candidate if they want to win, they need to check in with Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Download the app so you can listen live and on demand. I hope you enjoyed Congressman Burchett as much as we did here on Extra 106.3. He was bringing up studies that go nowhere, but they get funded, and there's a ton of money spent on them. I would also include the things that I think need to be looked at are those nonprofits, those NGOs, the studies, and the research, right? Research out of D.C. says, and I guarantee you they spent so much money on those and got nowhere and got nothing out of it.
You can hear the frustration.
Dude, that's the truth. Amen to that.
That when you're trying to get a particular piece of legislation through that is supposed to save the taxpayers some money, what then occurs, and this is what he pointed out, he said your third cousin said what will happen is the money goes out, it finds its way to the NGO, it heads back over to your third cousin or so-and-so's wife, and that's how they maintain their, hey, she happens to have a $250,000 salary. Well, it's because that money is coming back through the system to you, and that is your cut of what goes on in Washington. It's like we've brought up in the past. Julius Caesar, when he crossed the Rubicon, he didn't go to the Roman Senate. He went to the Treasury.
I'm going to get the loot.
these people get access to the money, and they can't help but make sure to keep glazing themselves and their families.
It's unreal, though, how his tone never changes. Like, if I get fired up, I talk way up here. Or if I get real mad, I talk down. Dude, he's even keeled across. He had the same tone when I asked him, can we save America? Is this salvageable? As he did when he was talking about the fraud from, researching UFOs. It doesn't matter. That's the thing I think I'm so impressed by, is he's so even keeled about everything. It doesn't matter the topic. He's the same guy in every situation.
The one area I wanted to get into with him, but once we were going down the road of, I'm getting the impression that he believes that these things are not human-made when it comes to UFOs, UAPs. At the same time, when he talked about the president and how much he's read into this information, and the president being on a need-to-know basis.
Which is unbelievable to hear.
That if at any point you stop this gravy train of looking into this stuff, it's going to cost these organizations, these three-letter ones that he pointed out, a ton of money. And that is why they never want to tell you the truth.
That's why there will never be a disclosure day.
There will never be any sort of disclosure, because that would stop the gravy train.
In the same way, the Epstein thing. Do you see?
I don't, but I'm willing to hear you out.
Well, because there's so many people that can go on TV and look at the exposure they get, the attention they get, and maybe it's not money, but it's the same. It's the same philosophy. Hey, I'm going to use this to get everybody all riled up and have their attention on me and what I'm trying to do.
The Democrats used the Epstein files. They used the whole Epstein storyline and the fake survivors. These are people that they couldn't use at trial in order to try and damage Trump and the administration. That was what until Melania was like, listen, you have your time in Congress, you can testify. You notice how that went away.
None of them did.
That ended the gravy train there. That was done then. I believe this is so much larger in terms of, I mean, we're talking about a large amount of your defense budget.
Sure, yeah. No, I'm not. I'm just saying.
You're talking, to me, you're talking small potatoes in comparison to the billions of dollars.
In the defense world. I know. I guess I'm just talking about the same, but it's the same dangling the carrot, though. It's the same philosophy. It's the same principle.
It gets them excited.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about, not the money.
It gets regular people excited. In terms of when you start talking about UFO, UAP, the problem is, and this is what impression I got from Tim Burchett, is that they can never actually tell you about what's going on, because now the argument is going to be, well, it might cause religious disruption. I think the bigger disruption is it might end the gravy train.
That's right. I don't believe it's going to cause religious disruption at all. Because if I believe God created the entirety of the earth and the universe and everything, then he created that too.
And I think that's the argument that comes from people that are just looking to go to church and go to work and do that. Oh, you're telling me that this stuff exists? Okay, well, now I live in a world where this stuff exists. But the money that goes into it to the defense contracting firms,
which I'll be honest, never even crossed my radar screen. Really,
that is
with the UAP and UFO part anyway.
That was why I asked it in that regard, because that is the bipartisan area where, as Tim Burchett refers to her, your friendly neighborhood communist AOC, they're aligned in terms of where is this money going, what is it going to? Because Congress is supposed to have oversight over what is happening with the American taxpayer dollars, and it goes into these black programs, and we don't know what happens to it from there. That's, if you told me it was Little Green Men, fine, tell me it's Little Green Men. But if it's more along the lines of, we use the threat of these things in order to take more money from you, and they're not really a threat.
Yeah.
That's the story.
Absolutely right, dude. I don't think many people, including myself, have had that sort of veil lifted until today. Until we heard Tim Burchett say it in your question.
That's the game. It's the game.
Dude, people don't think of it that way. And I'm a regular dude, man. I see things as, good and bad, black and white for the most part. And when you have to look between the black and white, in the gray, to figure out what they're doing to screw you, that it takes people like Tim Burchett to uncover it.
The government doesn't work in some sort of unique fashion. It is always about create an enemy, create a scenario, tell people you're going to take their money to deal with it. It doesn't matter if it's COVID or little green men or anything else. It's always the same thing.
It's the same formula.
It's the same formula every time.
When we continue on Extra 106.3, 8 o'clock hour, brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Bill Maher tried to talk liberal logic with Spencer Pratt, and he fell on his face. Next on Extra.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Back during the Biden era, with millions of illegal aliens streaming across the southern border into the country, some people would say, close the border, stop this. No, the Democrats say, we can only do it if we have comprehensive immigration reform. How many times did we hear those words? Comprehensive immigration reform. If you had a leak in your house, water pouring in, would it be a good idea just to shut off the water? Not for a Democrat. No, you'd have to have comprehensive plumbing reform. Well, that all changed when Donald Trump was sworn in. Just before Trump was sworn in, the Congressional Budget Office said that another 1.1 million so-called foreign nationals would be added to our population in 2025. Guess what? They had to revise those numbers. Why? Because Trump became president. So they took that 1.1 million and revised it down by 1.5 million. Does that make sense? Well, think about it. Not only did Trump stop them from coming into the country, but many who were already here were given their exit papers. One of the main ways Trump did this is that if you came to this country asking for asylum, Biden would just say, well, come on in. We'll give you a court date. Trump said, no, go back to your country and apply. That's what the law calls for. So why are all of these idiots, these useful idiots, protesting the actions of ICE right now? Because those are Democrat voters that aren't being allowed in and being sent back. Future Democrat voters. That's where the anger's coming from. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Streaming across Georgia on the Extra 106.3 app. This is WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
The fighting has not stopped in Lebanon. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Despite President Trump's push, Hezbollah launched more rockets and drones targeting Israeli soldiers and civilians today. And Israel targeted Hezbollah in Lebanon with strikes that reportedly killed 8 people, including 2 children. After the president posted on Truth Social, he urged Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu to tone it down in Lebanon, as Iran keeps demanding in talks to end the conflict with the U.S.
He also spoke with representatives of Hezbollah, and they agreed to stop shooting at Israel and its soldiers. Likewise, Israel agreed to stop shooting at them. Let's see how long that lasts.
Fox's Mark Meredith at the White House.
This call between the president and the Israeli prime minister appears to have gotten quite heated. You can imagine that the pressure that the White House is feeling to try to wrap up this conflict as soon as possible. But the president has also said he'll only do that if a deal is suitable to the U.S.
Another Russian bombardment in Ukraine has left at least 18 people dead, hitting apartment buildings and civilian targets.
Explosions boomed across Ukraine through the night and into the dawn. According to the Ukrainian Air Force, Russia unleashed 73 missiles and more than 650 drones. The main targets included Ukraine's capital Kyiv and cities including Dnipro, Kharkiv and Zaporizhia.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. It is primary day in 6 states, with 2 candidates and 2 California races getting the most attention. Spencer Pratt, who's trying to unseat Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, and Republican Steve Hilton running for California governor. He tells Fox,
"We've never run for office before, neither of us. We're both outsiders running to shake up a system that is obviously broken."
Hilton has President Trump's endorsement and faces dozens of candidates for governor, including Democrats Javier Becerra and Tom Steyer. The top 2 in today's voting face off in a runoff. Same for the LA mayor's race. There are also primaries today in New Jersey, New Mexico, Montana, South Dakota, Iowa, where Republican Congresswoman Ashley Hinson got a Trump endorsement. 2 Democrats are vying to challenge her, hoping to replace Iowa GOP retiring Senator Joni Ernst. America's list.
If you want unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast network, Big Wireless will sell it to you right now for as little as $70 a month. Or you can buy it from Pure Talk for half of that. I'm talking about unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data for just $34.99 a month. Stop paying the big guys twice what you need to. Dial pound 250, say my name. That's pound 250 micro to switch to Pure Talk, where the savings are truly unlimited.
Born on America's darkest day, 9/11/01, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been helping American heroes ever since. Heroes like FDNY Lieutenant Edward J. McDonough Jr. McDonough served at Ground Zero. He later lost his life to a related cancer. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation was able to honor his sacrifice by paying off the family's mortgage. Donate $11 a month, and you can amplify your impact with a car or land donation. Just go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Coffee, keys, and extra 106.3. That's how I get to work and home.
Come on, some Alabama. Starting the 9 o'clock crazy hour. Some people call it crazy hour. Some people just call it 9 o'clock hour. It just depends. Depends on where you are.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, things can happen. You just never know.
You get one more hour of this show, and then you have to put it away until tomorrow morning.
Or you can go back and listen to anything you might have missed, like Congressman Tim Burchett.
That's right. Check it out on the app.
Extra 106.3 app, or any of your podcast platforms, too. If you
you only have 24 hours to listen to it.
That's right. That is right. That is
if
right.
you try and save it an extra day, strike.
Yeah, and your phone will explode.
Yes.
How many strikes do they get?
Well, just one.
No, it's only 2 in this league.
He's giving me one because I was going to say this one.
By the way, it's
one strike you're out.
Currently 69 degrees.
69 degrees outside.
Okay, well, nearing 70 degrees.
Look at go. Okay, all right. You keep saying it's cloudy. I see a lot of sunshine out there.
Well, listen, I'm just going based on the Weather Channel told me. It said it was going to be a lot of clouds this morning. And
our meteorologist, I'm just going by what the Weather Channel told me.
He's in a room with no windows.
That's so great, though.
We don't have any windows. We have to look out the other windows that we don't have access to.
That's right. Look out the windows on the other side of our window.
When we know it's raining, it's only because we hear the thunder on the roof.
We're on the 4th floor, and it is just, it's coming through, and you can hear it through the rest. Exactly right.
We're like, sounds like it's bad out there.
Because most of the time, those shades are down to begin with, which doesn't do us any good.
Oh, here's something new. There's a chance it's going to rain at 12.
At 12 noon?
Yeah.
Well, I'll be.
I thought it was going to get rain last night.
I did, too.
It was threatening. I even got the weather alert from my car.
Your car gave you a weather alert?
Yeah.
I don't think my
thunderstorms
car does that.
in the area.
You ever get it on GPS?
I've gotten it there.
Yeah, I've gotten it on GPS a couple times.
Severe thunderstorms in the area. Yeah.
My old pickup truck must not do the things that y'all's cars do.
Well, you're not Batman.
Well, clearly. Clearly, I'm not.
Your Bluetooth doesn't disconnect or anything.
You're sweet, man.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I get access to all the best places in town.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that one. But
so that's your weather update.
Yeah, there we go. And I'm glad you did that. Keep it up. About every 6 minutes is what we're hoping for. Just if we're in the middle of talking about something, you just interrupt us. We'll be fine with that. But no, seriously, if you missed Congressman, not Doctor, if you missed Congressman Tim Burchett, it will be available on podcast platforms, on the app, extra1063.com. It'll be everywhere because he was so awesome.
May I be a little girl in this one?
Yeah.
I hope he likes us.
I was just a text his comms guy named Will. And I just said, hey, it was great to have the congressman on. We appreciated his time. Open door anytime he wants to come back. We would love to have him again. And he was like, great news. We appreciate it. Thank you for the invitation. Love to have a copy of the interview. So,
all right, it's all on Bryce now.
That's right. I just got and I'll shoot you that email. But some shows, maybe like The View, they have 10,000 people working on the show. It's literally the 3 of us. So if it gets done, we do it here on Extra. That's it.
So if he likes the show, it's because he likes the show.
Yeah.
We don't have 20 people behind us.
And to call and grease the skids or...
Like we got a sales staff and a promotion staff.
But that's totally
tech
separate.
World and everything, but...
totally separate.
How this show works, it's down to 3 people.
That's right. And look, the Kimber Show's the same way in the afternoon. And Bryce has worked down there with Kimber. I mean, they do their show.
It wasn't because... When he brought in the children, that's when they brought up the child labor laws, and so they weren't allowed to work here anymore.
But now that has been taken care of,
It's back to just
he had like a massage crew.
Yeah, which
people would rub his Kimmer feet.
Yeah, which was awkward.
They would shave his hooves.
Really awkward. And you ever get those weird brown toenails that are thick? That's what was going on.
Then somebody would just be there to polish Kimmer's guns.
Yeah, and then sweep
interns. That was a weird one when
sweeping up the.
That's right.
The mess.
Yeah,
just hoof stuff everywhere.
A lot of gunpowder on the table.
Hoof stuff and gunpowder.
The Kimmer Show. Hoof stuff and gunpowder. 3 to 6 on Extra 106.3. That's so great. No, but
now they're down back to a skeleton crew.
That's right.
Child labor laws. You can't do this anymore.
Look, you can't break the law. And I don't think Kimmer set out to break the law. My grandma used to say, I don't think he went to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just wanted his own Oompa Loompas.
It wasn't premeditated. It just kind of fell in his lap, and here's the way he did it.
His own Willy Wonka.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Yeah, very much.
You're telling me you wouldn't want your own massage guy?
If I could do the show, like, okay, those massage chairs where you lean forward a little bit.
That's different. Yep.
Because we have those all over the convention center. You can go jump in one of those chairs for like 20 minutes. That looks awesome. I've never done it, but I would do a radio show that way.
Yeah. I'm not sure I'd fall asleep.
Yeah, well.
I'll be
just checked out.
I'll be over here sawing logs.
Tug went down.
Dude, he accidentally turned the heat on. He got warm, fell asleep. Like an old man.
They put a blanket on his legs and he just went right to sleep.
Dude, he was gone. We were over there shaking him, trying to get him back awake, and nothing worked.
Tug, me and you are just like that, and that's in that way. I'm always cold.
Me too, dude. I always wear sleeves. People think I wear a hat because I'm embarrassed that my hair's falling out, which sucks. Don't get me wrong, it sucks. But it's usually because my head's always cold. The only time I don't wear ball caps is when I'm at church on Sunday morning, and our church is like a morgue. I mean, it is so cold in there. I'm sitting there freezing to death, hoping the pastor going to get through the message so I can get out to the warmth.
I just don't want to style my hair at all in the morning.
Which makes sense.
I brush my teeth.
Love it. Me too.
Put on the deodorant, put on the clothes, and run right out the door. I don't want to spend any time with hair at all, ever.
Put a ball cap on it. You don't have to.
See, the issue is I just wear mine the rest of the day, though. I don't take it off.
I get rid of mine once I'm not on YouTube.
I never I keep mine on for the most part, too, because my head stays cold. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Let's get to the first thing to know on Extra.
They want you awake, informed, and ready to fight for the facts of the day in the land of the free. Now your sleepyhead nation needs your wake-up call. A mighty dose of reality coming in strong. Soon as the sun cracks the horizon so high. Man, we got the story, no time for a lie.
I want to give a good tip.
Put a boot in your ass, courtesy of the morning.
I try to give those good tips. You know, when I can. You know, my wife has trained me up right to leave good tips. And
you're not Graham Plattner?
No, I'm not.
He has some rather inflammatory things to say about tipping.
Yes, he does. Yeah, all you have. Yeah, if you know, you know. If you don't, look it up. Just go to Twitter. It's everywhere.
And you'll find out why Democrats are even more like, we can't have this guy running for Senate in Maine.
Running from him. They're running so quickly that even the ladies on The View noticed. And then they've updated their talking points where they're saying that no way Graham Plattner can be the nominee. He can't be the person in charge up in Maine. There is a guy that also has his priorities right. And it's Spencer Pratt. Look, I didn't know much about him as a reality show star. But he's really good at this whole politics thing. And maybe it's his training on TV. He's not like a super strong Republican per se. Los brought that up last week, and he's exactly right. Keep in mind, just because Bill Maher speaks some common sense from time to time, don't forget that he's a liberal. And I want to play you this cut because Bill Maher is worried about something that's just not applicable right now. It's not the important thing to the people that live in Los Angeles. But Bill Maher, using that liberal logic, he had to bring it up. Spencer Pratt swats it down like a pickleball. Listen.
Took me 3 years to get the solar turned on. Solar, something they want you to have.
But now they're taxing you, I think, for having it.
They are?
I think so.
What do you mean you think so? You have to know.
I don't need to know about solar, Okay, I need to focus on making sure the moms are safe and the animals are not being abused. That's my party.
I know. But if you're the mayor.
The solar panels, that's going to be somebody I'm hiring. That's my deputy mayor is going to worry about the solar panels.
No, Spencer, I got bad news. If you're the mayor, you are going to have to learn some of these issues more.
Solar panels. We're about 3 years from worrying about solar panels. We need to get all the naked drug addicts off of the sidewalks, and then I can worry about solar panels.
But we can't walk and chew gum at the same time.
With the state of LA right now, the solar panels, you can spit that gum out. I love the idea of getting the drug addicts treatment and giving them job opportunities. And if we need more solar panels, personally, I think we got to investigate the LADWP, why you even need a solar panel. You pay so much money for regular electricity that we got to check why our rates are going up 10% plus every month. And we're not getting better electricity. Alkaline water is not coming out of our tap. So I'll get back to you on the solar panel.
I'll get back to you later, man. But it's the liberal logic. And Bill Maher is a liberal. He couldn't let it go. Solar panels, solar panels, solar panels. They want us. They want us to have them. And Spencer Pratt's like, dude, naked drug addicts. That's what I'm worried about. That's what the people of LA care about. Clean up the sidewalk so I don't step in poop.
So the estimate is around 5% of homes in Los Angeles have solar panels. If you know the Bill Maher story, it took him 3 years to finally get the HOA, whatever it is, the regulations
to allow it
for him to be able to install them on his home. He's like, why did it take 3 years? They're solar panels. Well, that's the kind of laws and craziness that they have there in California. But it really is that moment where the classic liberal is talking about stuff that doesn't matter in terms of their own comfort versus what is actually happening there.
What are you talking about, dude? Solar panels?
We got to get after these solar panels. It's like, what? I got to get Skid Row to not be 7 square blocks.
I would like to clean up the city that we live in. I would like it to be decent again. I would like it to be a place that people want to come visit and people aren't evacuating from. Companies leaving in droves, people leaving in droves for the first time in the history of the state, and it's all because of Los Angeles and the crazy rules that we have. The craziness that's happening. That's what's running people away. We'll talk about solar panels later.
If you want a fun one, I want you to look into the name Doug Ellin. Ellin. Now, for those of you that have been fans of HBO for 20 years, that might ring a bell. Doug Ellin was the creator, the writer, the person. He directed some episodes of Entourage. He's the one who really started Entourage. It was him and Mark Wahlberg. They're like, we're going to create this show on HBO. It had a good run, made a movie. It was a cool show for several years. It was a lot of fun. Doug Ellin talked about what it's like living in Los Angeles now and how many times his home has been broken into now.
And now, dude is a gun owner. He owns dogs.
He owns dogs, guns,
and security cameras.
And security cameras. He's like, I had none of this 5 years ago.
And he even said, when I would leave my house, I wouldn't even lock the door. I'd just leave the house. Everything was just fine. And now it's not. And he said, they've opened the door to Spencer Pratt. He posted a whole video on social media that said, they've kicked open the door to Spencer Pratt. They've basically created another Donald Trump. And he was like, I didn't vote for Trump. But I understand why people did. They felt like there was no alternative. And that's exactly the way Spencer Pratt is being presented.
So Bill Maher is talking about solar panels. Again, I'd like to have fun with this stuff. Let me just kind of give you an example of what is going on there. So when you look into the city of Atlanta and the estimates of how many people that we have in Atlanta that are currently homeless, the number is estimated about 2,800. We have about 2,800 people in the city of Atlanta and the surrounding areas that are homeless, that are living on the streets. LA County has 72,000.
Hang on. 72,000 in LA?
72,000 homeless in LA County.
Good heavens.
The city, LA proper, has nearly 44,000. Now, they do delineate between sheltered and unsheltered. People that are living in homeless shelters there, it's about 24,000. Unsheltered, it's still about 50,000. So you have 2,800 homeless in Atlanta. you have 50,000 homeless in Los Angeles.
Unreal, dude.
And when they talk about the mess and the problem, and here's what it's causing, and the lack of economic development and the issue with trying to get the streets cleaned up, you can't get to solar panels until you deal with 50,000 homeless people.
And where are you putting these people? Where are you putting them? Because you've invited them.
All right, so that's the other end of it. And let's play this other piece of Spencer Pratt audio. Because here's the part that people don't understand. Because you asked the question, how did they end up? Was there just that many people? Do you have the state of California that fell apart that hard? In the same vein as the story we're talking about in Newark, where people from Portland have been flown in. They've been delivered to go cause problems in New Jersey. The same system of NGOs also deliver homeless people to LA, to California. They are not from California. The way they look at it is, as long as you create an industry that then is siphoning up state and federal money, then that industry stays alive as long as you don't deal with the problem. That's what LA has created. That's what Spencer Pratt is trying to end. Take a listen to when he brought that up with Bill Maher.
Ready for the best part? 60% of the people in Los Angeles that are experiencing homelessness, they're ready. No, they're not from California. They've been brought here by NGOs that profit off of this homeless industrial complex. Medicaid.
Wait. They've been brought here?
They've been brought here.
Who did that?
Body brokers bring these people here.
From where?
All across the country. If you're an addict, you can come to LA and get these rehabs and because you're Medicaid, you have a social security.
It's also, if you're going to be, shall we say, outdoors your whole life, it's better to be here than in Minneapolis.
100%. So a lot of these people,
I think that's part of the attraction. I don't know if this is a big plot.
No,
you think this is a big...
There's a big part where this is, like I talk to these people who are now sober, off fentanyl, off meth, and they say they got literally brought here through a rehab, trying to get off drugs. The money runs out, boom, left on the street.
How did Gavin Newsom spend $24 billion on the homeless problem that has only grown? Because you were supposed to increase it.
You created the industry.
To create an industry that makes people rich while keeping people on the street and drug addicted.
How Bill Maher doesn't know that is absurd. It's appalling.
Because he's concerned about solar panels.
His focus is in the
wrong. Is that what makes LA so
issue.
Expensive? Is that part of it, you think?
Well, I mean, it's going to be expensive anyway, just because everything in California is expensive because they artificially make things expensive when they charge you more for everything.
The further you get away from the city, there is affordable ways to live there. And as you move further north into the state, there are much more affordable ways to live there, unless it's Thousand Oaks. Good luck. But when you start talking about why do they have the homeless problem, it's not just that, it's expensive to live there, and so people become homeless. They're importing them in. They've created its own industry there.
They need the numbers.
And if you can make $24 billion disappear, and every time the state has tried to have an audit, it gets shut down.
They ain't going to do it because they don't want you to know where the money's going.
Because if you saw where the money was going, you would recognize you've created an industry based on, let's face it, being destitute.
And Bill Maher, being a relatively reasonable guy, if he were to know that, if he were to pay attention, then he would see the problem and actually call it out. Maybe because Spencer Pratt brought it up, he will be able to do that. Because he's not above reasoning, but he is a liberal. Don't mix the two up. Just because he's seen the light on a few things don't mean he has on everything.
Well, you can never deal with a problem if you can't identify a problem. Bill Maher doesn't know the problem.
That's exactly right. Has no idea. Clearly.
He lives in an ivory palace, an ivory castle, and fine. Like I said, there's plenty of times where we talk about there's moments where I'm like, Bill Maher gets it. Bill Maher doesn't get it on this one.
No, he doesn't.
Because it is not his reality. It's supposed to be Spencer Pratt's, and quite honestly, their current mayor, but that's just not how it goes with Karen Bass.
But I don't know how Bill Maher doesn't just open his eyes completely. It's like he takes half the red pill. You know what I mean? Like, how do you not go, okay, I've seen what I've been told and what I think is not true. I mean, even to the point of Donald Trump saying he's not a Nazi. I've sat down and had lunch with him. He's not those things. Then shouldn't that lead you to question everything else that you've been told and you believe? Because it does for me. Like, I question everything. Now you got to prove that it's real versus prove that it's false.
All right, here's a number for you. Per person spending estimates. 40 to 100,000 annually in LA when dividing total budgets by homeless count. So the total they're spending divided by the 72,000 that are in the county. That's the number we gave you, 72,000 homeless. That money, the 40 to 100,000 per homeless person, 72,000 of them. Most of it goes to overhead, temporary shelters, and administration.
Yeah, that administration, those are the things that you see with fraudulent nonprofits.
Well, we got a president.
Yeah, we got to pay him good.
I got to make $1 million doing
That's
this.
Exactly right. And there's plenty of them that do that. And you've seen it even with veteran organizations, how they get run that way. I mean, Wounded Warrior Alliance went through that, where they had to really restructure everything. And I think they have. But, I mean, it was in a bad situation. People were donating, and it was not going to the right places. When we come back on Extra 106.3, the Leering fraud. More fraud, yes. It is worse than you even knew. Next on Extra 106.3.
Support the advertisers and partners that share your values. Give our Extra advertisers the first shot to earn your business. They will deliver for you every time and support the Extra community like no one else. Connect with all of our partners online at extra1063.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPsetc.com.
You can see it. You can definitely feel it. Yeah, the Georgia heat is on the way. Hey, it's a Kimmer. How's it going? If your siding is worn out, faded, or failing, now's the time to get it fixed right. PeachStateWindows.com. See what Jeff and his team are doing for homeowners all over Georgia. I've known Jeff for years and years. I trust how he takes care of people. That's one thing I like about a business like his. More than 50 years serving Georgia. He knows what our homes are up against, that heat and humidity and the storms. And by the way, they don't do halfway jobs there with Jeff and Peach State Windows. This is a start to finish, done right kind of place. Right now, 1,000 square feet of premium cement fiber hardy plank siding for just $69.85. 1,000 square feet. Removal, installation, professional paint, 0% financing for 12 months. How about that? 770-485-8011. Hardy plank is what I started using like 3 decades ago or so. 770-485-8011. PeachStateWindows.com.
Your yard. It stresses you out between the watering, the seeding, the weeding, and mowing. And no matter what you do, you're never satisfied. Have you thought about artificial turf? It's low maintenance, it's pet friendly, and it looks amazing all year round. Those in the know use ATL Turf Go. ATL Turf Go is Atlanta's top choice for artificial grass installation. Let them build you a backyard of your dreams with a custom golf or putting green, outdoor kitchen or pool deck. They even specialize in custom concrete and stonework. They handle everything from design and grading to construction and drainage solutions. So whether it's residential lawns or recreational sports fields, ATL Turf Co. can build you a stress-free space you'll love. So say goodbye to mowing, maintenance, and your wasted weekends. Learn more and schedule your free in-home consultation today. Call ATL Turf Co. 678-403-2339. That's 678-403-2339. Or visit atlturfco.com.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org, helping warriors navigate to success after service.
For those of you turning 65, you don't need me to tell you this. You're getting slammed with Medicare spam. Mailers, robocalls, ads, all of the things saying different things, all promising you they know what's best for you. The truth is, there are thousands of options that many of these spammers only sell just a few of them because they make commission on those. What you really need is clarity, honest help, and that's why I want to tell you about Chapter. They want retirement to be the best chapter of your life, and they do that by helping you find the Medicare plan that actually fits your needs. Over the last year, Chapter has saved my audience $1.5 million just by helping people find a better fitting plan. It's not just about saving money. I heard from Mark in Arizona who couldn't get access to a heart specialist until Chapter stepped in and helped him get the care he needed. He said it was absolutely spectacular. Give him a call. The call is free. They have helped thousands of people just this last year in this audience. Dial pound 250, say the word Chapter. Pound 250, say the keyword Chapter.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
It's Tuesday, June 2nd, and here are your headlines. President Donald Trump has issued a series of endorsements ahead of tonight's primary elections in 6 states, backing candidates in key gubernatorial, Senate, and congressional races. The endorsements will serve as another test of Trump's influence within the Republican Party as voters head to the polls later today. Georgia drivers are being urged to fill up their gas tanks now as Governor Brian Kemp's temporary gas tax suspension expired at midnight last night. Officials say the gas prices could rise by about 33 cents statewide now that the tax break is over. Cobb County and the city of Mableton remain at odds over a new services agreement after the previous deal had expired, but officials say police protection will continue while negotiations move forward. City leaders say that they remain committed to reaching an agreement while preserving Mableton's municipal court authority. In case you missed Tim Burchett, you can catch it anywhere you watch listen to your podcast or on the Podcast Park. It'll be a mostly cloudy day, and we just found out a chance of rain with a high of 82 and a low of 59. Your Xtra 106.3 headlines. I'm Bryce Gobert.
Tug and Los until 10 on Xtra 106.3. Thank you for being here. 404-741-1230. Add Xtra 106.3 across the social media platform. We've had such a extraordinary show, and Tim Burchett, I just want to piggyback on what Bryce said. Make sure you go back and listen to that. It was so stinking good. He had so much to talk about, and some of the things that he discussed, I don't know that I've heard him discuss in any other forum than here on Xtra 106.3. So it was a blast having him on, and I can't wait to have him on again. But I want you to go listen to it on the app or wherever you get your podcast, as Bryce mentioned. So fraud was a big topic of conversation. It continues to be a big topic of conversation. We laid it out in California. We've laid it out in the defense industrial complex. We've laid it out with UFOs. We've laid it out at the Leering Center. The Leering Center's up in Minneapolis. And the crazy thing is, as bad as you think it is, you have no idea.
Stephen Miller brought this up maybe 10 days ago. And I think it took us a moment to go, okay, could that possibly be true? That if we were to deal with a large amount of the fraud in this country, then we'd have a balanced budget. We would not have this insane growing of debt. We would actually be fine. And it just sounds extreme. Like, oh, there's no way. Yes, we have spending problems. And we do have spending problems. We spend entirely too much. I don't think we pay attention to what goes out the back door. I think that ends up being a major issue that goes on in this country. You know, the liberals will flip out about, what we're spending on defense on a regular basis. Yet, they will never look at what is flying out the back door from our health and human services or any of our other programs where we're finding money in Minneapolis that we never knew this occurred. And so I think Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he ended up detailing this pretty well. So over in Minnesota, you had an autism fund. It was to provide autism services for children, young adults, anyone who had been diagnosed with autism, helped them out in school. Obviously, it's a different level of schooling for anyone who's dealt with it. There's a different level of attention and different level of schooling that has to go on. And in this case, the initial cost was $38 million. Well, what did it cost this year? It ended up costing $442 million.
Hang on. That's quite a jump, Los.
The allocation was for $38 million. By the time that you had all the autism claims, it was 11 times larger. $442 million. What has gone on is you can either believe that every child, especially those of Somali descent, have autism.
Every one of them.
Or this was a game that was being played in conjunction with the local politicians in order to find this money coming from the federal government.
I bet you can call me cynical.
Kind of feels that way.
I'm going to option number 2.
It was an early intervention program that started in 2020, $38 million. It was $442 million in the past year.
It's unreal. It's unreal. So when you have numbers,
free money.
Yeah, exactly. Look, it just fell off the back of the truck. I don't know where it came from.
Crazy.
Let's just pick it up.
Went out the back door in terms of DC terms.
Yeah, exactly right. And then got cycled back to or laundered back to somebody. If we use the Burchett example, it is to somebody's third cousin.
Or it finds its way through somebody's third cousin to local politicians that look the other way.
Maybe ones that wave with jazz hands and do sidekicks.
Maybe.
Or maybe ones that were told and tipped off by people that worked in the government in Minnesota saying, hey, here's what's happening. And those people got reprimanded.
Or maybe somebody who happens to be of Somali descent that tended to find some money coming from the community in order to help her out with campaigns.
Yeah. Which we're going to get to that too.
$38 million to $442 million.
It's just impossible. Again, statistical anomalies, which you point out a lot. You're a numbers guy. Those things you're able to point out really easily.
In the span of 6 years, the autism community in Minneapolis that was serving this area jumped by 11 times.
Come on, man. Come on.
1,100%.
You can get me to believe all kinds of things, right?
Sure.
You can get me to believe some things, and you could outright lie to me and say it convincingly enough. Maybe I'd fall for it. I'm not falling for that.
No.
And no American is falling for that. I don't think. Well, I guess we'll see how they vote in November if they buy it or not.
Well, and this is the problem. I don't want to be hardline about this stuff. I think that we should have programs like this to help out people in terms of when you have an issue that's going on in a community and the federal government can help. I don't want the strings attached to it. I'd rather it find the money into the people that know what they're doing. Like, for instance, I have a friend of mine. She is a director at a school that does this work for families that deal with severe autism. And they do receive funding. And that helps some of these parents that if you can't send your kids to private school, then what chance do they have? And so I think it's important. But when it turns into, hey, now all of my kids have autism and I need all this sort of money coming. I'm like, okay, but that's fraud.
But that's what always happens, Los.
It's just fraud.
Like,
I can tell you, it doesn't happen at her school, and that's my point of reference.
Dude, okay, one out of how many?
But we know that this is happening in North Carolina. We know this is happening in Minnesota. We know California has been taking part in this.
I guarantee it's happening in other places, maybe not that school, but other schools here in Georgia. There's no doubt. And that's the thing. They pick and choose who they want to support, right? They pick and choose. If let's say it was a Christian school with the same kind of autism issues, the federal government, specifically under Joe Biden, you think they were going to help those kids? Absolutely not. Not one bit.
But your kid wouldn't ever end up in a Christian school if they have autism.
Well,
that's my point. Is that you have to have this available. At the same time, you have to be stringent about watching when there's an 11 times a 1,000% increase, knowing that is statistically impossible.
Yeah,
just impossible to have happen.
I want to be compassionate. My compassion has run out.
No, I get that.
It has totally run out, dude. I don't trust any of those people. Zero of them. Your friend? Sure, I would trust her.
So your other end is your other end, and this is the challenge of it all. So when somebody in your family has a kid with autism, you're basically telling them, well, you got to go figure it out and pay for it.
I've got two. And you know what? They've had to figure it out and go pay for it. They've gotten zero help from anybody, anywhere. My adopted sister has incredible special needs. My mom and daddy used every dollar they had and got almost zero help.
And that's what I'm talking about.
But that's what I'm saying. So they pick and choose where the help goes to begin with.
Again, we're talking about when it comes to Minnesota and Minneapolis, they carved out a way to steal money from the American taxpayer doing this.
Because my parents decided, hey, I'm not going to steal the money. I'm not going to make things up.
So in this case, now you end up with zero help.
And that's what we got anyway. So I don't know that it matters. I don't know that I don't know that anything was accomplished. I know they stole a lot of money, and my parents got zero help. Not that I'm jockeying for help. But would it have been nice when they took every dollar they had to raise an adopted sibling now? Since, I was in the military. She was 6 months old when they got her. She's 28 now. That's how long they've been working with this child to raise her up and have had zero help. I don't feel a damn bit of pity.
But you see when I talk about the compassion meter?
Yeah, it's over.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Just like with the discussion we have with Dr. McCormick.
Yeah, when we talk about...
exact same thing.
When we talk about how, yes, your experience with Haitian refugees, you want this for them. The rest of the country says no because of what the Biden administration did. And I believe this is going to be very prevalent. Now, it's going to play into the Republicans are heartless. Sorry, you burned
the bridge down, man.
Look what you did.
And not even did, continue to do.
And then what we had in California, and that's one that the state is trying to do everything it can to protect its illegal operations as of right now. What they have now, they're trying to bury when it was coming to their hospice care fraud. And as it was brought up, how'd you know it was fraudulent? J.D. Vance told you, it's like, they didn't die.
Nobody ever died.
Nobody complained when you said we turned off your fund?
When we turned off the spigot, nobody asked for us to turn it back on.
And no one in their facility ever died.
Yeah, it's unreal.
They just kept drawing more federal money. This is the game. When Stephen Miller said this, I was like, I don't know about that. I'm coming around more to it.
There's a Joe DiMessina song from about 20 years ago called My Give a Damn's Busted. That's where I think most of America is. I do believe that Americans are very compassionate because they donate more than any other people on the face of the earth to charities, to their church.
Oh, no one steps up when we have some sort of international situation like us.
Nobody. So you can't pretend that Americans are not compassionate, but when they get screwed over and over and over and over again, finally they're like, dude, I'm not bending over anymore. I'm sorry.
And we're all looking for the pound of flesh. Like, all right, Tim Walz, you've been implicated in all of this. Ilhan Omar, you've been implicated in all of this.
Doesn't matter.
And there's enough protection because what does the system do? It protects its own all the time.
Nancy Mace has said it. She said it's just as much the Republicans. I don't know if you can play this clip really quick. Nancy Mace talking about that. She's like, we have Ilhan Omar, and it's not just the Democrats. It's actually our own party.
Congresswoman, where do we stand on the investigation into Ilhan Omar? Obviously, there's some, questions regarding her citizenship. She's been referred to the Ethics Committee. Can we trust the Ethics Committee to actually be ethical and do the right thing?
Well, what's happened so far? Like, really, I think the remark is always let the process play out, right? That's what they always say, and nothing never happens. I tried to subpoena her immigration records, her husband's immigration records, and it was Republicans that killed my motion.
Yeah, and what's going on with that? Do you have any more insight you can share on that?
As far as I know, nothing's going on, and nothing will go on. That's Congress for you, because both sides protect the other.
It is a big group. It's a big club, Los. And you ain't in it. And Nancy Mace is being shown too. Much like Congressman Burchett we've talked about. He's seeing, she's seeing, everybody's seeing that it's the Republicans just as often in D.C. as everywhere, not just D.C. It's the Republicans just as often trying to protect the gravy train. God, it's unreal, man. It really is. It is so off-putting. It's so frustrating, and it angers me to no end, knowing that they're screwing you and me alike every day, and there's no accountability ever. And I don't know that there ever will be. Morning Extra and Extra 106.3. Your education system is failing your kids. Next on the Morning Extra.
Extra 106.3 Sports, powered by 680 The Fan.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Tuesday, June 2nd. The Atlanta Braves open up the homestand tonight with the Toronto Blue Jays in town for the first of a 3-game series. It'll be Bryce Elder on the mound tonight for the Braves. He'll be opposed by former Brave starter Kevin Gausman. First pitch is set for 7:15 tonight. You can hear all the game action on our sister station, 680 The Fan, and for free on the Fan app. A pair of big trades in the NFL. Former NFL Defensive Player of the Year, defensive end Myles Garrett is headed to the LA Rams in exchange for pass rusher Jared Verse and 3 quality draft picks. The New England Patriots, they've added former Philadelphia Eagles receiver A.J. Brown to their roster in exchange for a pair of draft picks. With your sports headlines, I'm Carlos Medina.
Babe, can you knock out my honey-do list today?
Oh, I know. I told you I'd get to it this weekend.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalomia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. I can't fix your marriage, but I can fix your house. With our handyman for a day service, we'll handle those drywall patches, that door that won't latch, the leaky faucet, and the wood rot all around your house. The whole punch list, done fast, done right. You keep your weekend, she gets the house done. Everybody wins. Book your handyman for a day at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day, the Trusted Toolbox.
Hey, it's Front Office Los with Tom, the honest car guy. Let's talk about the new way to buy a car in 2026. Tell me how you can save clients thousands of dollars in this process.
I got a customer here, Jeff Everhart. I met him today first time because I delivered his 25 model Honda Pilot, fully loaded with only 16,000 miles on it. Jeff, answer Los's question about that one.
It was actually shocking. I mean, you hear the advertisements, you want to believe it, and then when you go through with the sale, and there's no extras, there's no dock fees, there's no storage fees, no transportation fees. The price I was given was the price that I paid plus their honest fee. I did save thousands of dollars, and it was a very quick sale.
Well, we appreciate that.
And did it from my living room.
Did it from your living room.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
I'm so sick of all these cheesy lawyer billboards. You might be too. If you're injured in a car crash, you don't hire a lawyer because they're sweet or strong or the biggest. You hire a lawyer who's recognized by their peers as one of the top lawyers in the state. You hire a lawyer who's going to listen to you, fight for you, and has the case results to prove it. That lawyer is me, Bruce Hagan, the people's lawyer. I've been proudly selected by my fellow lawyers as one of the top 100 lawyers in the state and for 21 consecutive years as Georgia's super lawyer. Hagan-law.com, Hagan-law.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy. Pretty much hands off, They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Sequoia National Golf Club is located 45 minutes west of Asheville, North Carolina, and nestled among the oak, fir, and flowered valleys in the heart of the Great Smoky Mountains. Owned by the Eastern Band of the Cherokee, this Robert Trent Jones II design offers an idyllic 18-hole journey filled with panoramic vistas on every hole, beautiful landscapes, and a fun mountain golf experience. Enjoy a relaxed lunch or afternoon beverage on the outdoor deck with 180-degree views of the Great Smoky Mountains. The surrounding community also provides golfers a welcoming environment that is rich with Native American culture and exciting year-round attractions. Sequoia National Golf Club is just 4 miles from Harrah's Cherokee Casino Resort and just a short drive from Atlanta. Experience a fun afternoon of golf with your friends or stick around for an epic stay-and-play weekend. Experience mountain golf at its finest and then go hit the casino floor. Book your tee time at sequoianational.com. That's sequoianational.com. Experience the majesty and beauty of Sequoia National. Mountain golf at its finest.
The Democrats, if you're a conservative, they're not your friend. They don't like you. The establishment Republicans hate you. They can't stand you. They can't imagine how they have to deal with the conservatives to get stuff done. They're grossed out by it. In fact, they might hate you more than Democrats do.
The Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Winding down the show with some Joe D. Messina. My Give a Damn's busted. This is about 2004, 2003, 2004-ish. Maybe 5. But she's extraordinary. Overcome breast cancer and still touring as a country artist. So I like Joe D. Listen here. Listen what she says. But my Give a Damn's busted. So perfect for so many scenarios when it comes to government. Yeah, I'm just tired of y'all. I'm sick and tired of you, Los. I got no time for you.
I don't have any time to hear about your nonsense. Although, let's face it, it's all nonsense anyway.
Every bit of it. Every bit of it. Good Lord.
I mean, we're in an era now where even things that are interested in terms of bipartisan support, you can't even get that done.
No.
And being that we're in the majority, and you're still going like, seriously, come on.
Yeah. Dude, it's because they don't want to get it done.
No.
They do not. Tim Burchett told us what, I said, are there people up there that you trust? He said there's about 15 or 20.
Yeah.
And he said more than you think, and I think he was trying to give you hope. But when the number that stood out to me is 15 or 20, how many people are there in Congress? And there's 15 or 20 that we can trust.
This is what was important about the primaries and watching what happened in Louisiana and watching what happened last week in Texas. Being able to primary out some of the Republicans that are clearly establishment oriented. The goal is that you are able to then have people that are more serious about getting stuff done rather than just being an opposition party in name only. Because oftentimes that's what the Republicans, especially this brand, that are overwhelming majority have been. They are there to make it look like, hey, we're fighting the Democrats, but you keep voting with them.
That's right. You keep allowing.
I mean, we're in a position now where we're having to watch Susan Collins defend herself from a man who had a Nazi tattoo for 18 years before he thought about getting rid of it. And she's not any sort of Republican that we would ever want to say represents us on this radio station. But here's what I'm left to have to defend.
Yeah, Susan Collins. I'm just look up her voting record.
Oh, she voted for impeachment. She votes with the Democrats quite a bit. Look at her Liberty score.
Yeah,
that's what you want to do.
Yeah, she's been in there since 1997 too. That's another thing. You know, people talk about lifelong politicians. That's what she is. Lifelong politician. What's her Liberty score?
Taking a look at it from it's an F.
Oh, surprise!
Conservative review.
So we have to take
20%. Yes, this is what we have to deal with.
We have to defend a woman with an F on her Liberty score, meaning how much she votes, how conservative she votes, up against a dude with a Nazi tattoo.
That's what I'm left with.
That's what you have. That's your 6-7 right there.
Yeah,
that's your balance.
That's my. Oh, yes, I'm trying to improve government for everyone.
Not really at all.
I mean, my choice is Republican/Democrat light.
Yeah.
Or a Nazi.
Yeah.
Like an actual one.
Dude, I had a conservative man send me an email this morning. Said, I'm pulling for Plattner.
Okay.
I for the life of me, I can't figure that out. Not that I think Susan Collins is great. I was like, dude is an avowed self-proclaimed communist.
He's a communist.
And you're telling me, as a conservative, you're telling me that's who you're voting for, you're pulling for.
My next question would be, is this somebody who routinely corresponds with you?
Yes.
Oh.
With some regularity. And I was like, I have to roll my eyes in the back of my head 10 times a week because I get so many emails.
I would imagine that at least their conservative ideals and the way that they conduct them are probably significantly different than mine.
Yes, very much so. Because it's like a wind blowing the flag.
Oh, I like this person today.
Yeah.
That doesn't work that way.
But that's... And unfortunately, I think there's a bunch of conservatives out there.
And again, Susan Collins, PU. Like, I would love to go and primary that woman out of there. But until Maine is able to have somebody where it makes sense, you're left between Liberty Score F
and a Nazi. The guy with a Nazi tattoo.
Yeah. Whose primary backer right now is Bernie Sanders. Because he needs another communist.
That's right. He's like, look, I know.
Listen, I know I know he's gross.
Yeah.
I know he masturbates in porta potties. He admitted to it.
And he's on a predator website, according to the National Association of Sexual Exploitation.
You would never hire this person to teach at a middle school or a high school. But Congress, that's different. Sounds good.
Sign him up. It's where the grossest people in the world go. It's Hollywood for ugly people.
I mean, they're looking at Eric Swalwell and going, dude, it wasn't that bad.
Seriously.
Not as bad as Plattner over here.
But they both, though, they have the similarity is they both ran out of their usefulness.
Yes.
And now you're seeing people pivot away from it. I'll play you this quick piece of audio.
73 degrees.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Rain's got pushed back after.
Oh, okay, good. Thanks for letting. Did you go to 6 minutes exactly? Is that what that was?
No, that was just kind of in there, you know.
This will make you sad. At a college campus, passing students couldn't answer basic questions. This is an obvious failure of public education. But more than that, it is the fruit of leftist indoctrination. Don't know when America was founded, but they all agree on one thing at the end. Listen.
Is Israel committing a genocide?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
It's all genocide.
Students in America seem to have bold opinions about what's happening across the world. But what do they even know about America? Let's find out.
I'm doing a quick survey. It would take like literally 20 seconds.
Just a few questions. Please help me.
What is the First Amendment? Oh, come on.
I should know that, but like...
Rob.
No.
You don't?
So embarrassing.
I have no clue. Couldn't tell you.
I don't even know. No.
No.
I don't know what that is. Don't know what that is?
No idea.
Do you know what year America was founded?
19...
Okay.
I don't know that one.
See, and it keeps going from there. It just goes on and on and on.
19...
We don't teach civics regularly anymore.
Have no interest in it. But the one thing they all agreed on, and they recap it at the end, is Gaza is a genocide. They're certain of it.
Oh, no.
Every single person that they ask, they knew that. They couldn't tell you the First Amendment. They couldn't tell you when America was founded. But they knew, with that beyond a shadow of a doubt, that Gaza is a genocide. That is as sad as it comes. That is not teaching you to think. It's teaching you how to think.
The strange part that I find when they do these videos, it's not that the kids can't read. It's that they can't comprehend.
Yeah.
When they are asked to read 3 sentences and then to explain what it meant, that's the part that's strange. They've learned how to regurgitate information, but not to be able to take it in and then disseminate it for themselves.
And what they agree with and what they don't.
And so, because, you always hear about their reading level. And in my mind, because I'm ignorant of this, I'm thinking to myself, well, if you give them something complicated, they're not able to read it. It's like, no. They'll read it. They won't comprehend it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
They won't understand it.
I have no idea what they've just read.
So when you're told you're comprehending, your reading comprehension's at an 8th grade level.
And that's in college.
That's pretty concerning moving forward when you don't have people that are capable of reading and comprehension. It basically makes it to where you've created a bunch of empty vessels that are ready to be filled with whatever you tell them to fill, which pretty much sounds like the design of the education system.
Would they be containers?
They too are containers. Not like you, a soul container, Tug.
Right.
Not like you.
But that's exactly right, man. They have no idea. And I've told the story a few times. I remember when my son went to we're in the entrance, they're telling you about the college. And we're doing, he's off doing his thing, and they're telling us about all the things that they do to help kids that fall behind. And then they got into math, and they're like, we have so many kids that can't do basic math and can't do reading comprehension. This is at the College of Charleston. They're like, we really work hard to get them caught up. And I'm like, get them caught up?
Yeah,
Why are they here?
This is not a junior college level university.
How did they get in?
Yeah.
At what? What do you mean we're getting them caught up?
They got rid of testing.
No, I don't think so.
This is going to be a strange thing to get into as we move forward. But because of the level of education, what is going on right now in this country, Yes, it's one thing if you go to MIT.
Yeah.
Sorry, the regular student's not going to survive MIT. You got to be pretty high end to go to MIT. I think what we're going to find is there's not going to be a whole lot of difference between the good state institution and the smaller state institution. In fact, the level of education will be almost zero difference. It'll be the cost that's the difference.
I bet junior college to state institutions not going to be that much different. And they go back to the cost, it'll be a huge difference in cost. But the education, I don't think it'll be that much different either. I think you're exactly right. And I would even say in some scenarios, even those Ivies are diluting their own.
I believe so.
Eliteness. I don't know if that's right. Their elite status anyway, as an exceptional place to go to school. Because if they dilute it down and they take just anybody.
Listen, my wife went to the University of Georgia, which at this point, how difficult it is. It's incredibly difficult because of the level of success that they've had in football. That's what drives all of it.
100%.
Makes it very difficult.
And that pisses people off, but it's the truth.
It's the truth. What Alabama turned into to try to get into is insane during the Nick Saban era, and then it's area that they've continued. I don't think within a few years there's going to be a lot of difference between, let's say, University of Georgia and a University of North Georgia.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's a difference now.
I don't think there's much of any difference outside of you're paying for this experience, but in terms of the education level and the opportunities it means moving forward, the gap is squeezing because of what's been going on in our high school and our education system.
Without a doubt. Wisdom unbridled here on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. That'll do it for us. Becca's up next. Then Clay and Buck and the Kemmer Show.
My God!
Watch out for the hooves and massage chairs they provide in that afternoon show. Starting at 3 for Los and Bryce. I'm Tug. Y'all come back now, you hear?
More than just headlines on your ride to work? It's the Morning Extra, live from 6 to 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Summer is here, and hopefully vacation is on the horizon. Whether the beach or maybe you're more of a mountain person, you've planned and saved in order to take some much-needed time off. You planned your vacation. Shouldn't you plan your retirement? You planned for a week in the sun, but have you planned for decades of golden years? Master Plan Retirement works with you to create a holistic, comprehensive retirement plan in order to offer the one thing your time off needs the most: peace of mind. From income and growth, tax strategy, legacy planning, and more, Master Plan Retirement walks alongside you to help ensure your golden years stay golden. Schedule your complimentary consultation today. Visit masterplanretire.com. Master Plan Retirement Consultants. Plan well and prosper.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.